Good afternoon and welcome along to this corner of the Northeast, the Echo Arena, the home of the Redcar Bears. But tonight, the venue for one of British Speedway's big fixtures of the year, the 2023 Championship League Riders Championship. We've got 16 of the best riders from across British Speedway's championship here, battling it out to be the best and get on the top spot of the podium that's on the centre green here. It's all to play for, and we'll go through the lineup very shortly. Alongside me is Adam Roynan. Adam, as people can see here, there are some wet patches on the inside of the track here. We've had a lot of very heavy rain here. Track covers were on earlier this afternoon, through the morning and through the afternoon. Without track covers, I think it's pretty likely this meeting wouldn't be going ahead. So, first of all, we've got to pay tribute to the track staff here at Redcar who have got us a meeting on here.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ian. It's amazing that they've had the brain power to think that to put the covers on and prevent any sort of deluge of the water just cancelling this meeting. The tractors are still out there, and Jamie Swales and his team are doing a remarkable job just to get the track in some sort of fit racing state. The corners were very dry because they managed to put the covers on before the rain came. So yeah, they're just mixing it in, mixing some of the wet material, some dry material, and the material that's already on the track in together, and it should be a great racing surface. I spoke to a few of the guys that have rode on the track that's had the covers on at this very circuit, and they've said that the track rode superbly. So that's it's going to be an interesting meeting for sure. But yeah, it's going to have some thrills and spills, I feel. Because
of that extra track work, we have got a slightly delayed start time, only 15 minutes, but that's just need the time just to finish off the track grading here. So it'll be a 5:15 start time for the first heat, and they're slimming down the parade and stuff beforehand as well. The riders are going to come out and do a lap and then back in again, and then we're going to crack on with it. So there'll be no big ceremony beforehand or anything like that. So we will be getting going. 5:15 the start time, so we're not far away.
One thing though, Ian, with the track conditions like this, it's a leveler, because I know that there's a few home track boys here and there's riders that do go well around this racetrack, but when the weather plays a bit of a part in the preparation of the track, then it is a leveler. So riders that you wouldn't have expected to do very well could well and truly go on to win these things. But you got to look towards the favourites that like the Chris Harrises and people that are capable on tracks that are a bit tricky, a bit uneasy to ride. Then the sort of the guys that could shine through. But yeah, it's going to be a superb afternoon.
Yeah, we've got a good racetrack here, and as the meeting goes on as well, obviously the track's going to turn over. There is a chance of a small light shower, I think, at some point during the meeting, but certainly the worst of the weather has passed us by now, and it should be all good as we head through this meeting. So 5:15 start time. Let's have a look at the lineup here this evening then, because these are the best riders. We have one or two changes, of course, as often we have in Speedway with injury and one thing and another. But let's look through the lineup and look at the respective teams that they're representing as well, because everybody has got a horse in this race if you support a team in the Cab Direct Championship. So starting at number one, and drawn number one in this is Rory Schlein. He'll be out in heat number one. Rory Schlein, of course, hugely experienced, former British champion. You might say, what? He's Australian. Well, no, he was British champion in 2020, if you remember that. Justin Sedgman at number two. He is one of the riders that actually rode this track when the track covers were used. And he was telling me earlier that actually it was one of the best tracks he's ridden. So look out for that. Very similar conditions that night to what we've got today. At three is Troy Batchelor, both of those representing the Birmingham Brummies, of course. And Kai Thompson comes in at number four. So that was a late switch. Scott Nichols had to pull out of the meeting. Kai Thompson comes in as a late replacement. At number five, for the Pool Pirates fans then, Richard Lawson lines up at number five this afternoon. It's sort of in between afternoon and evening, isn't it? Not sure which to go with. Richie Worrell is at number six, and he's representing the Plymouth Gladiators. Paco Castagna answered a very late call-up late this morning. Kyle Howarth had some, well, he was suffering and struggling with the meeting at Leicester yesterday with Sheffield. So Carl Howarth has pulled out of the meeting today. Paco Castagna comes in at number 7, and Louis Kerr is at number 8. Now, Louis Kerr has won 2 back-to-back Teesside silver helmets here. Of course, he was a red car rider last year, and when it comes to these individual events that have been held on this track in other competitions, Louis has done very well. He might be one to watch. That's the first half of the draw. Let's have a look at the rest then. And, well, it's the captain of the Red Car Bears, Charles Wright, rides at number 9. Surely, by default, has to be one of the favourites on his home circuit. Ryan Douglas at number 10. Statistically, Ryan Douglas has the highest average of all of the riders in the lineup around this circuit. He's over 9 he averages here. Yeah, on that note, he is the strongest rider for statistics. If you're a statistician, then you might want to think about that. Craig Cook is here, and he rides at number 11, of course, of the Edinburgh Monarchs. For the Pool Pirates fans, we saw this guy going well on one of our meetings on BSN earlier this season when Redcar faced Pool. Ben Cook is fairly formidable around the Echo Arena, as is Chris Harris, former track record holder for a long time. And that has, of course, fallen a couple of times this season now. But Chris Harris, a lot of experience here through the course of his career. Jake Allen, former Red Car Bear himself, rides at number 14. Danny King with the Red Car Bears this year, and of course he was second last year on his home track of Poole. Now on his home track for this year, the Red Car Bears. Can he go one better? He's finished second 3 times in his career. He's never won it. He wants to change that tonight. And Leon Flint is at number 16, who's spent quite a bit of time in his youth days racing around here, a track he knows very, very well indeed. And Leon Flint, former British Under-21 champion, rides at number 16. We've got 2 reserves as well. Luke Harrison and Sam McGurk are the 2 track reserves, should they be required. And that is your lineup for the Cab Direct Championship League Riders Championship here at the Echo Arena, the home of the Red Car Bears. The first time they've hosted an event like this, biggest event they've hosted on Teesside of this stature. Fans from all over the country making the journey, many with their windscreen wipers on, approaching here going, is this going to be on? And of course it is on. Right, let's head over to the BSM booth then and hear from one of the co-promoters of the Red Car Bears, Jade Mudgway, is with Hayley Bromley.
Yep, thanks Ian. I'm with Jade Mudgway. Jade, it's been touch and go across the UK this morning with the amount of rain that's fallen, but the Echo Arena seems to have survived the worst of it thanks to the track covers. I mean, really, they have saved the day a little bit today, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. You know, when we woke up this morning and saw the forecast, it had certainly changed from yesterday and from what it was leading up to today. So there's a lot of hard work gone in with Jamie Swales. Mostly has done all the effort for this meeting, and I think it's a big feather in his cap. He's been out there getting the covers on and things, and it was his idea to purchase the track covers from Newcastle. So, you know, there's a bit of British Speedway all around here today.
There certainly is. The work's still going on at the moment, which is why we've got the slight delay to the start time. But obviously we want to make sure that the surface is as suitable as possible for the riders, because this is a big day for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is massive for all the riders, and it's a big day for Redcar Speedway as well. We get put on, a big meeting like this, and on what I believe is the best racetrack. You know, maybe a little bit biased in there. There's a couple fight for it, but I think it's great here, and especially in this league. I think it'll just be an awesome day, and I think track conditions will be great after Johnny's got out there and fixed it, because he does a brilliant job right here.
Oh, he absolutely does. And I mean, only 2 changes to the lineup today. It's a very, very strong field, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of hard work's gone into that as well. But yeah, I think it's a great field. I think it'll really hold some prestige. Whoever wins this today really is going to be deserving of that number 1 spot.
I'm sure it will, and a couple of Red Car riders in there as well. They must be the favourites for the title.
Yeah, you know, there's Charles and Danny in there, and I think the conditions today may think, you know, could throw them off a little bit. But especially Charles around here, he's done a lot of years, hasn't he? He knows the conditions inside and out. I think when he drops a clutch, he'll be next to the fence where he always is, and he'll be gone. So I think you can't really look past him today, and I think Danny will also. I think they'll both get to the final, and then it's anyone's game, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's very wide open. Well, Jade, thanks so much for your thoughts, and well done to all involved for getting the track into a position where we're going to see some excellent racing, I am sure. We're just minutes away now from tapes up for the 2023 Championship Riders Individual here at Redcar's Echo Arena, and with that in mind, I'll hand you back to our commentary team. Taking you through the action today is Ian Brannan and Adam Roynan.
Yeah, thanks, Hayley, and good to hear from Jay Mudgway there. A lot of pride here among the staff at the Redcar Bears and the Echo Arena, because they've done a lot of work to prepare for this event. It's a big event for them, the biggest that they've ever staged, away from their club meetings, of course, that they've had. So gets them on the in the spotlight, as Jade was mentioning. And you know, a lot of riders love this track. A lot of riders will tell you this is their favourite track anywhere. And clearly, the National Speedway Stadium gets you know, a lot of focus on it, and there are many other stadiums, of course, that riders will love to ride either here or elsewhere, Poland, Denmark, or what have you. Perhaps this circuit goes a little under the radar with it being in the championship, with it being tucked away in the northeast. It's not always on TV. Of course, now with BSN, we're able to share more of these, and of course, Redcar do their own streaming as well, that we can see action from here. But some of the racing that has been witnessed at this track over the years has been sensational.
Completely agree with that. Yeah, it's having rode it since the day one here. It's progressed and progressed, and especially with one of the corners, well, 3 and 4 is actually banked, so it produces a different element of your racing. You can start to drive into the corners, and you can send it wide to build up your momentum and your speed, or you can go around the inside to shorten the distance and pinch someone's nose off coming out the corners. So there's lots of room for racing around here, and as it's a short track, it's like a medium-sized track, but it's a small track that can just develop very fast racing. It's very fast-paced, and riders like Louis Kerr, Charles Wright, they're very, very fast around here, and they can get definitely the best out of this race circuit. But yeah, all the guys do like racing here, and it's pretty fair, and whoever gets their bike dialed in for the setups that there's going to be around for time for the track conditions that are not going to be the normal track conditions, but whoever can get dialed into that best and attack it and ride it well is going to come out on top, for sure.
There are some people here from British Speedway that regularly, you know, cover the Premiership meetings, of course, and tracks maybe around the Midlands or further south, and they've not often been here. In fact, I don't think in some cases it's their first visit here, and we were stood on the track as they were removing the track covers, and they were saying, wow, that's quite, I mean, I've seen banking, but I've never seen banking like that. And I said, you're in the north now, you've seen proper speedway. And, you know, the banking, the angle of the banking here it's old school, isn't it? It's an old school kind of track there that you can really get stuck in. The sort of track that maybe you would get, say, in Poland or places like that. Maybe the banking's a bit steep. That third and fourth bend, it is quite steep, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like a small, big track. It just rides flat out, as most of the tracks do nowadays, but you can certainly develop a lot of speed around here from very little, which means that if you're on the fast line and you're going some, then you can win races, but you're very vulnerable because riders can find speed around the inside, they can find speed around the fence. So yeah, it's one of them tracks that's so brilliant for the racing aspect that it's a superb factor that Redcar have managed to get this event and host it, and it's well deserved by everyone involved, because yeah, it's going to be a great showpiece.
Well, if this is your first time experiencing a meeting from Redcar, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it delivers the racing that we know it can.
I hope
I've seen some incredible meetings.
I just hope that the track lives up to it, because I know because they've put the covers on. I just hope that they manage to do the best with it, which I'm sure that they will have, and I hope it has a good representation of this circuit, because it is fantastic. Riders
getting ready to go out on parade in just a minute or two from now, I think. You can see the bikes getting lined up there. 5:30 we're told. We're aiming now for the first heat, but we're going to do the parade and all that now. There's no restrictions here time-wise. Nobody's under any pressure. The weather looks like it's improving a bit now. There is some rain obviously nearby, but that looks like it's going to skirt past us. Certainly we've got blue skies directly above our heads at this moment in time, and we're looking forward to getting this. Of course, they'll be up against Justin Sedgman in that first heat. Obviously, they've ridden together on and off through the course of their careers. Rory now racing for Wolves in the Sports Insure Premiership, but this is all about Championship Speedway. There he is in his Berwick Kevlars. A big signing for Berwick.
It was a big signing for Berwick, because last year he was retired.
Well, that's right, and it's quite the comeback. He was in Australia, he was retired, and then here he is back in action as Troy Batchelor joining the party. They're having a bit of an Aussie fest there, throwing shrimps on the barbie and whatever one would do
in Australia,
in this situation.
Don't know, never
But
been.
Batchelor, sorry, Troy Batchelor again, another rider who had Speedway had sort of gone on a back burner for him. He hadn't ridden a bike for 9 months, and then there he was in action with the Brummies. So he's back in it now.
Yeah, like I was watching some YouTube footage of Speedway, and it was a GP race, and he was in it, and I think he scored a maximum or near on the maximum in a GP. So he's very, very capable, and if he has his head on the right way around, he can certainly be a spoiler here tonight. And if he makes the starts and wants it bad enough, like the rest of the guys, then they could all be spoilers. And just away from the actual favourites that you might feel are going to win it, they could all do something here today.
And now there's Charles Wright. Surely he will be fancying his chances here. Maybe the track conditions not exactly how he would hope they would be, but nonetheless, it's his home circuit, and he'll be looking at that silverware and pride. Obviously, we've seen Charles Wright really throw the bike into some big moves, getting around the boards when there's something on the line in order to not let an opponent have a 5-1 or whatever it is that we've seen over the years.
He's very spectacular around here, isn't he? There's Richie Worrell just giving a bit of the fans
something to cheer
up. Something to cheer about. I hope the referee hasn't seen it, because that'd be a fine. But
yeah, and he did that despite the obviously his build. Ben Cook.
Very fast, very good
know Ben
around.
Cook well.
Yeah, very fast around this circuit. He's so light. I know he's only a little guy, but he's like a little pocket rocket. And if he can make the start, he's gone into the distance. So yeah, he's one to look out for this evening. Chris Harris just making his way onto the track in front of the fans, taking the applause. He blew me a kiss before he went into his pit bay. So Bomb was in high spirits and in a good mood. So
that's
yeah,
nice.
he could be certainly one to be putting his name on that trophy this evening.
When it comes to individual tournaments over Team Speedway, though, it is a different mentality, isn't it? And Bomber has been there, seen it and done it, having been a Grand Prix rider and doing well. He's leading the world, I think, in the long track championships at the minute as well, isn't he? So this is no strange sort of fixture for him. He's used to getting out there and battling for himself rather than the team.
Yes, and he's very handy in them situations where the pressure's on, because he certainly brings out the best in Bomber. He always gives it 110% on every single time. So yeah, no difference of him today. He's managed to sort his bike gremlins out over the last few months of this season. So yeah, he's definitely going to be one to be up there at the end.
Yeah, the rider's heading back into the pits now, and we're due to get underway in the next 10 minutes here at the Echo Arena, if not sooner. There are one or two spots of rain in the air, which I'm confused about, because looking up, there's actually no cloud. So, well, there is a little bit of cloud, but you wouldn't say it's the rainstorm type.
Yeah, it's not a rain cloud, is it? It's more of a clear cloud.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot worse further away from where we are in the distance. A mention to do, can we give a shout out to Carl Hurry and his carer, Joanne Walker. Unfortunately can't be with us today for health issues, but everybody here at Redcar wishing Carl Hurry all the very best and sending our best wishes to you, and hope you enjoy watching this here this evening, and you're with us remotely tonight rather than here in person. But best wishes to Carl Hurry, and from us all here as well at BSN. So there we can see it's fairly wet in the pits. Gives you an idea of how the track might have looked if there were no covers down. It wouldn't have been pretty, but the track ready to go. It's a weird day, the weather. We've got sunshine, we've got rain in the air, we've got blue sky, we've got dark clouds off in the distance towards the hills. It's a funny old day. But we're here, we've got a meeting on, and the 2-minute time allowance is on for our very first heat here at the Echo Arena in the 2023 Championship League Riders Championship. Welcome along to BSN. Thanks for joining us this evening, and looking forward to 22 heats of action that will decide this year's Championship League Riders champion. The reigning champion is Sam Masters. Unfortunately, Sam Masters required in Poland. Unfortunately for Sam further, his meeting in Poland has been rained off. So such is life, but we will have a new champion here this evening as a result, with Sam Masters unable to defend it. And the riders now out on track for our very first heat here this evening at Redcar. And I'm sure you've all got your own thoughts as to who might win. As we know, things never run straight forward in Speedway. It's it's very hard to predict, but I think probably 9 or 10 riders potentially could really win. Speedway Star sponsoring heat number 1, and here is the lineup as we get underway here at the Echo Arena. In red is Rory Schlein. Gate number 2 in blue, Justin Sedgman. Off 3 in white, it's Troy Batchelor, and off the outside in yellow, Kai Thompson. Your lineup for heat number 1. What do you reckon here, Adam?
I reckon that the riders have just got to try and figure the start. A lot of fresh material went on the start after all the track covers came off and things, so there'll be plenty of digging around and gardening to be done for the riders to find out the best starting position. But yeah, it's just interesting how committed they are to really racing this track. But he who dares wins, so yeah, I can't wait for it to get underway.
Yeah, it's a big meeting, it's the start of a big week in British Speedway, of course. This event tonight, Friday night, we're in Oxford for the championship pairs. Saturday, the British Grand Prix at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff. And that week starts right now with heat number 1. And away they go then into that first bend. Justin Sedgman gets out there initially, and now he's being chased down by Rory Schlein. Third place is Troy Batchelor, who's battling with Kai Thompson at the back. Kai Thompson putting pressure on Batch there. Batchelor's bike has packed up. He's out of the race. It's 3 left only.
Yeah, immaculate start there from Justin Sedgman, and he's already got himself into the lead down the strip. But here comes Rory Schlein. Rory's starting to build up a bit of speed in second place. Can he make a pass in this early stages?
Justin Sedgman said when we first got here he fancied his chances on a track like this. It rode very well last time he raced here when they were using track covers, and that's proving to be the case, though. Rory Schlein certainly making Sedgy work for it here into the final lap.
Yeah, he's working. He's just trying to extend his bike a little bit wider to catch the dirt coming off the corners, but I think he's left it a little bit too late. Justin's rode a great race here. They're both getting out of shape there, but managed to hang on to it, and so it's 3 points for Justin Sedgman to open his night.
Justin Sedgman wins heat number 1 here then at Red Car as we get underway in the 2023 Championship League Riders Championship. Great start from Sedgy, and he held it from there, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a really good from the start. He's a bit of a gator, and yeah, when the track's tricky, he can get one of them gates out of his draw, and that was a great way to open the night for him.
Justin Sedgman claiming the win then in heat number 1, and there was the official result. Here it comes again. The result of heat number 1, Justin Sedgman with the win, Rory Schlein second, Kai Thompson third. Troy Batchelor did finish the race, although had some mechanical issues midway through, but he managed to get himself going again. So Sedgy strikes the first advantage here this evening in his quest to be the Championship League Riders champion.
Yeah, here we can see the start again. The rider in blue, Justin Sedgman, reacts brilliantly, and his bike just drives perfectly straight. Wheel just hovering, dancing to that first turn, and he holds a good, sensible line, nice and low round that first and second corner. Schlein just sets himself into second place, and yeah, just started to challenge the track a little bit, working out different lines, but it wasn't to be for Rory this time. I see at the back there, Troy Batchelor, he packs up but then manages to keep himself going, make sure he gets the 0 rather than the retirement, which looks better on the scorecard if it went to count back at the end of the race. And yeah, Justin Sedgman had the beauty of going on a real fresh track there. It looks really odd because in the corners we're getting a dusty sort of surface, which is because they've not had any water into it, which is the only reason we're having a race meeting here. So yeah, the track will take maybe 4 or 5 races to develop, but yeah, we've got some racing at least, and it's going to be superb.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that this meeting would have been off were it not for the efforts of the track staff here putting track covers down. Certainly a vote that track covers can work. Without that, I tell you what, it would have been just a mud field, to be honest. But here we go with heat number 2. The riders coming down to the tapes here, and there is Louis Kerr. As I say, he's won back-to-back Teesside Silver helmets. The Teesside Silver helmets are a big competition here to round off the season at Red Car, with usually a very competitive field, not too dissimilar to this, to be honest. Heat number 2 then, Richard Lawson from gate number 1 in red. Paco Castagna, late call-up for Paco, and he rides in blue from gate number 2. Richie Worrell in white from gate number 3, and off the outside in yellow, it's Louis Kerr. Heat number 2 with Bowen Pies, and certainly now the riders will have seen how things go after heat 1. Maybe early to make some changes, but certainly they've seen the lines that work for Sedgy at least, and they can see where they might need to keep the bike on the track here. but certainly Seji did all right from gate 2, didn't he, to start
Yeah,
with?
we'll have to watch out for Richard Lawson here. Wasn't too long ago that he was a guest here for a team and he top scored. So yeah, big heat. Here we go, heat number 2.
Away they go, nice and clean, looks very quick from Louis Kerr here, who cuts across the whole field from that outside gate. Louis Kerr piling it on down the back straight and gets himself into the lead ahead of Richard Lawson in second. Here comes Richie Worrell round the outside of Paco Castagna to blast through into third. We're going to race our hands at him.
Yeah, electric start there, Louis Kerr. Richard Lawson up the inside, can he make the move? No, Louis Kerr shuts the door. Richard Lawson's going to put it wider, but Louis Kerr manages to hold it on tight and pull away from Lawson again. That was a sensational start from Louis from gate 4, and he's going to go on maybe to get the 3 points here.
A lot of experience around this circuit, Louis Kerr. Bit of a fan's favourite as well here at Redcar from his season here last year into the final lap. He's holding off Richard Lawson in the battle for heat number 2. Lawson holding that inside line. Louis Kerr keeping a little bit wider there, getting a bit more speed around these bends, heading for home. It's going to be Louis Kerr who takes heat number 2 ahead of Richard Lawson. And nice little battle there out front. The track's starting to wake up a little bit, and Louis Kerr certainly lost none of the skills that he developed here last season.
No, that's why he's a track expert, and to come from gate 4 this early on was brilliant from Louis, and he tapes the flag finish. That's 3 points for him. That sets his night off well.
Absolutely, and good win there for Louis Kerr. And here is the official result. Louis Kerr of the Oxford Cheetahs, of course, in yellow with the win, fighting off Richard Lawson in second, Richie Worrell third, and Paco Castagna fourth. Your result of heat number 2.
Although Louis Kerr did win the race, I was really impressed with the speed that Richard Lawson had here. He was challenging around that inside and kept Louis honest. And if Louis happened to make a mistake, then Richard would have been there to pounce. It was very competitive going into that first corner. Louis really wider than anyone else has been all night, using all that dirt on the outside and slinging himself into the front, down the back straight, and that's where he stayed. But Richie Worrell started to make a bit of an impression on that opening lap, but yeah, not enough dirt on the outside built up just yet to make the move. But yeah, Richard Lawson here is where he starts to put Louis under a bit of pressure. Louis would have known that he would have been there, and he would have kept him honest throughout the race. That's why he just had to keep his head down and do what he could do, and that got the 3 points. That man on the screen there though, Charles Wright, big night. He's really well, sometimes unbeatable around this race circuit, and he's so fast. Been here a long time, and yeah, real fans' favourite. And yeah, I wouldn't put it past him to want to lift that trophy for himself here tonight and for his team.
Well, Louis Kerr's come back in the pits and said that he feels it's going to come good tonight, this track. So a vote of confidence there from Louis Kerr, but he certainly had a good time out there in heat number 2. And now we move on to heat number 3, and that man there, Ryan Douglas, statistically, through the course of this season, has been the strongest rider, in fact, through the course of his career, I think, the strongest rider in the lineup around this particular track. Well, that's certainly got to be something for the Redcar Bears promotion to think about. When the team building, although Rob Godfrey is here, he'll probably have other thoughts. But Ryan Douglas, again, he was in the lead in the final last year, and he got pulled back and rerun, and he lost it. But anyway, here is the lineup for heat number 3 with Agelia Infrastructure partners, and Ryan Douglas goes off gate number 1, representing the Scunthorpe Scorpions in the Cab Direct Championship. Craig Cook in blue from gate number 2. Off gate 3, first chance to see Charles Wright, the Redcar captain, off gate 3. And next to him, off gate 4, is Ben Cook. Heat number 3, Craig Cook getting himself back on the track once again. We saw him in action with Leicester and Ipswich on Thursday night. There he is, of course, now with the Edinburgh Monarchs gear on tonight, representing his Cab Direct Championship side. Former Grand Prix rider, former British champion. Again, another rider that knows how to win an individual tournament.
He certainly is. I feel he's going to be a little bit race rusty, but it's meeting like this that can get his form back up and going.
Okay, here we are then, heat number 3. Tapes held a little while there by our referee, Willie Dishington, and now they're underway into that first bend. Ryan Douglas, but Charles Wright is down on the first bend. And the red lights are on. The race will be stopped.
Yeah, Charlie comes a bit of a cropper there on the first turn. We'll have to watch that back to see exactly what happened. Ryan Douglas, who's off and gone, wasn't he? He's going to be pulled back again. That's unfortunate for Dougie, but I hope Charles is okay.
Yeah, all 4 back. That is confirmed, and we'll have a look back at the replay in just a moment. Here we go, and Charles Wright in white there, the one that gets himself in a spot of bother. What happens? Just get clipped by Craig Cook by the look of it.
By Cookie's back wheel and dirt deflector. Just took his front wheel there. It just unsettles the bike. It off balances, and this is going to be a great angle to view it from. It's the back wheel of Craig Cook out of gate 2 here that just disturbs Charles's front wheel. Yeah, you can see that's quite a significant coming together there between back wheel and front wheel, and yeah, just unsettled Charles. So he had to come a cropper there, but yeah, all 4 for the rerun.
All 4 back. That's a classic case of first bend bunching there, and Craig Cook's bike being wheeled back to the pits as well. Is something wrong with Cookie's bike there, do we think?
Unsure. It's very, very filled in at the front wheel area. Not sure what's happened there. It's Jacob Hook that was pushing his bike away. Cookie's walking off the centre green. I don't know what happened to him there. I was focused on Charles. Maybe Cookie had binned himself as well.
Not that I saw, but yeah, the rider's just having a bit of a break there now while Charles Wright gets himself sorted once again, and back out for all 4 restarting heat number 3. Just a bit of a test of the starting gate there as well. But we've seen some competitive racing in the early part of the meeting, especially heat number 2, which was a good battle between Richard Lawson and Louis Kerr. Certainly Richard Lawson putting pressure on Louis Kerr having to work for that. Justin Sedgman, the winner of heat number 1, if you're just joining us. So we've had the 2 heats so far. We had a slightly delayed start because of extra track work required after some very heavy showers on Teesside through the course of this afternoon. And we have a meeting on, I would say, no small part thanks to track covers. Have you heard the one about the inflatable pub?
I have now.
Well, there it is. That's a special edition here for tonight. I believe that some staff slept in there last night, potentially as well.
Crikey.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, absolutely. Going back to the meeting in, what you said about the competitiveness, I think it's going to take each of the riders at least 1 race just to let the track sort of like get figured out in their head so they know how to attack it, how to set the bike up, and yeah, like Louis Kerr has said, that the track's really going to come good as the meeting goes on. So I think, yeah, each rider, they're going to obviously want to score points in every heat just to give them some sort of reckoning towards the end of the meeting. But it's going to be so competitive. Then there's going to be a lot of first turn comings together. Hopefully there's nothing too serious happens. But there's going to be, as the meeting winds on, the riders are going to become more and more eagerly anticipating that they want to finish the job here tonight. So yeah, especially around this racetrack, such a good racetrack. We haven't seen much racing yet. The track needs to come a little bit more to the favour of the riders, and they need to gain confidence in it as well. So yeah, once all that happens, I feel like this is going to be one of the best meetings to ever probably be around Redcar.
Yeah, that's what they think. Certainly their biggest meeting, and they're hoping for some of the best racing as well as we go, and the riders coming in and saying that the track, some of them, to be honest, probably did have some concerns about how it was looking when they pulled the track covers off, but the grading's been done, the preparation's been done for an hour or so after that, and certainly seems to be holding up all right so far.
Well, it's very strange to have dry corners and wet straights.
Yeah.
Where the straights are like maybe 2 or 3 inch deep, and the corners are bone dry. It's very odd, but once it's all mixed in together, it's going to be really, really good.
I just put a post on our Facebook page, by the way, so if you'd like to let us know your thoughts on the meeting, let us know where you're watching, who you're cheering on for, your thoughts on any of the incidents that happen, or anything else, any mentions, shouts, birthdays, any other family notices you wish to pass on, then get in touch.
Or even who you're rooting for.
Yeah, who you're rooting for. Who's going to win it based on what you've seen so far? I mean, certainly we only saw the first bend of Ryan Douglas's first heat, but he certainly looked pretty quick.
Oh, the way he went into the third turn off camera was the sound of his engine. He just peaked out, and it was a beautiful sound to have heard. So yeah, He's obviously got the right setup here. He knows this track really well, like you say. He's one of the best top average rider here, and very, very capable on his day, Dougie. And he's in very, very good form at the minute, like he is most years, to be fair. So yeah, Dougie's due a title, I feel.
Well, he's said in interviews beforehand, in fact, it's on our website, the BSN website, where he's saying that, you know, he hasn't really won individual titles in his career, and he wants to put that right, and he's aiming to do that here tonight. Heat number 3 then, the lineup, all 4 back after the initial little clash between Craig Cook and Charles Wright. Ryan Douglas off gate 1 in red. Off gate number 2 in blue is Craig Cook. White from gate 3, it's the home captain of red car, Charles Wright, and off gate 4 in yellow is Ben Cook, heat 3 with the Gelia Infrastructure Partners. Ryan Douglas admits he wasn't necessarily the best rider ever when he first came over to these shores. But he's working with Darcy Ward, though, and Darcy Ward's taken him under his wing quite a bit, hasn't he? And has been his mentor.
Been his mentor, and he's been a real difference in Ryan's racing. And yeah, he can definitely show on track, and the way his mentality, the way he rides and attacks the tracks he's a lot like Darcy's mentality. So yeah, that's no.
It's not a bad place to be.
Oh, of course it's not, no. So, yeah, bring it on for Dougie.
Here we go then. The rerun of heat number 3. Away they go then, out of the tapes once again. A great start from Ryan Douglas. Coming around the outside though, here comes Ben Cook. Ben Cook gets around Ryan Douglas into the lead here in heat 3. It's Dougie in second. Wide is Charles Wright trying to get at the inside of Ryan Douglas now. But look at Ben Cook go out front.
Yeah, Ben Cook's really stolen the march out in front. Coming from gate 4, he rattled right round the outside of everyone in that first lap. And Dougie's there in second place. They're just trying to find out which is the fastest part of the racetrack to ride at the minute. They're just riding around the middle of the track at the minute, where Dougie gets himself in a little bit of mischief there, but holds on to it well and controls that second place.
Craig Cook has retired from the race, so it's only the 3 riders you can see on screen left in it. Into the final lap we go, and Ben Cook has the lead. Ryan Douglas in second. Third place is Charles Wright. Round the 3rd and 4th bend for the final time then. Heading to the checkered flag. It's a win for Ben Cook. Representing the Pool Pirates, of course. Ryan Douglas of the Scunthorpe Scorpions second, and the home rider Charles Wright of the Red Car Bears third. And that was an impressive overtake from Ben Cook getting around Dougie there.
Yeah, especially from gate 4. That was quite something from Ben there. And to beat Dougie as well. He's definitely got to take that one and just use that confidence for the rest of the meeting, and there we can see the result.
So there is the confirmation of the result. Ben Cook with the win. Ryan Douglas second, Charles Wright third, and Craig Cook fourth. Your results of heat number 3. So there we go. Look at the start here. It's the riders on the inside and the outside to watch, with Dougie getting a great start, but then Ben Cook holding it big and brave around the outside.
Held it big and brave, didn't he? And he used to use that extra bit of speed that his bike generated from going that wider distance, and went straight around the outside of Dougie. Dougie, yeah, did hold on to him for a lap or 2, but just made a little mistake in this first and second corner as the race progressed. But no, superb ride there for Ben Cook. The bike's driving, pulling him well, and when we were here with Poole, he was really good that night as well. So this is the track that obviously suits him well, suits his riding style, suits his setup that he's got. And yeah, this riders like Ben Cook, there could be ones for the final here.
Obviously, Poole is his home track. Compare Poole to Red Car.
They've both got 4 corners.
That's about it, is it?
Yeah, chalk and cheese.
There's a lot more dirt on here, though, isn't there?
Yeah, especially this evening. But yeah, Poole's can also be like this. Any track can be like this. It's just it's Poole smooth, this track smooth. That's a very good similarity between the two. But yeah, they're all ride differently, if you know what I mean.
So the final 4 riders that we're yet to see in the competition coming out. And here is your lineup with Via Strada. And off gate number 1 in reds, it's home rider going to get a big cheer, I fancy. Danny King off gate number 1 in this heat number 4. Jake Allen off gate number 2 in blue. Off gate 3 in yellow, representing the Berwick Bandits, is Leon Flint. And off the outside in yellow is Chris Harris. And if ever there were conditions that are suitable for Chris Harris, coming off gate 4 as well, which has been operating pretty good so far, then maybe this could be something to watch.
Absolutely, and especially with the dirt just building up after 3 races already on this being the 4th. There's going to be a nice little dirt line built up there. Can Bomber use that to his effect? The fans will be watching for the rider off the inside, Danny King, home track. He'll be wanting to put his name on top of that title as well today. So, yeah, this is a big Heat 4 to start these riders' accounts for this evening.
Okay then, here we go. And the takes rise. Look at Chris Harris fly out of the traps there, and up the inside comes Danny King. Danny King holding the inside. Chris Harris coming around the outside here. Watch this bend here. Nice big banking. Perfect for Bomber. And here he comes, trying to get around Danny King. Danny King trying to block his run and tries to force Bomber to come up the inside now. What a ride by Danny King there to block that run.
Very smart move there from Danny King. He allowed Bomber the racing room around the outside, but then just managed to get in front of him coming out of the second turn. And yeah, throttle cable being stretched once again from Kingy, and he's off and out in front. Bomber's giving him his best in second place with Jake Allen in third.
Yeah, Jake Allen's toiling away there as well in third, not to take his foot off the gas. Chris Harris, although he's looking fairly comfortable now, as is Danny King out front. A good ride here. Danny King will be pleased with this, having got the better of Chris Harris in his first ride. And the home star, Danny King, claims the win in Heat 4. Good little battle there in that opening lap with Chris Harris, who really made him work for it, but some smart riding by Danny King to force Chris Harris wide.
Very, very intelligent from Kingy there. He worked it around the inside, allowed Bomber the room to run it on the outside, and then when he come to it, just cut his nose off down the back straight, and now he's taken the applause of the fans. Great way to start Danny's night off.
The result of Heat number 4 then, a win for Danny King in red for the Red Car Bears. Chris Harris second, Jake Allen third, and Leon Flint fourth. Your result of Heat number 4.
It was a good fair battle though, wasn't it, between the 2 Englishmen?
It was, this first lap particularly. Talk us through it.
Yeah, Danny King. I thought Jake Allen had made a better start there than Kingy, but Danny's bike reacted a lot better than what Jake's bike did, and he got to the corner first. Bomber is on the back wheel going into the third turn there, managed to control it well. He's just under pure traction, pure drive there, and you think he was going to blitz around the outside of Danny, but Danny pushes it in really hard into this first turn here, just runs up to the same line as what Bomber's on and just stops his run. Bomber decides to then cut back and try and get the run down the inside, but Danny is a wily old character, and yeah, he knew where Bomber was going to be and knew to get out there, because Danny rides that high line as well, so both riders were just who was going to get there first was going to win that race, and he was very, very fast once he managed to get himself some clear air and kick on out in front. And yeah, it's no perfect way than starting your night with a race like that.
Yeah, he'll have a lot of confidence from that one. A good ride there in Heat 4, and again we're seeing a little bit more from the track as well as we go. So we've got 4 winners of our first 4 heats, with Danny King there winning that heat, Ben Cook, Louis Kerr and Justin Sedgman all crossing the line first so far in the Championship League Riders Championship of 2023. Let's over to the BSM booth now, and we'll hear from the winner of heat number 1 here tonight. We've got Justin Sedgman with Hayley Bromley.
Yep, thanks very much, Ian. I have got the winner of heat number 1, Justin Sedgman. Justin, a lot of work going on this afternoon to make sure this meeting was able to go ahead with all the rain that's come down. You had the pleasure of being one of the first riders on the track. Tell us how it rode.
Yeah, it was okay. Like, obviously, when it's a little bit inconsistent, and obviously they've prepared the track for the weather, and it was kind of, the first lap was just trying to feel it out a little bit. Lucky I was in front because it made it a little bit easier for me. So, yeah. Watched a few races down, it looks okay, so can't really complain. I think we just need to get on with it a bit now, and you know, a lot of riders were talking about, you know, what was going to happen before the meet. I kind of just zoned out and just thought what will be will be.
Absolutely. Well, you look like you made it quite effortless there in heat number 1, as we can see on screen right now. Pretty interesting though, the straights weren't covered, so they are a little bit damper than the turns were. How does that affect the setup that you guys are having to take?
Not too sure really. I actually wanted the bike to calm down a little bit during the race. I might have looked smooth, but it definitely was I think it was kind of me just trying to make it as smooth as possible. So yeah, I want to ride it, attack it a little bit more. But yeah, if I can make a few more starts like that, it's going to make life a lot easier.
And does it help when you guys, rather than being a little bit tentative, does it help to just attack it when it's a little bit like this?
Yeah, I think just because the way the track was prepared and the weather, and everyone probably was over the fence watching to see what would happen. So it's probably not the best thing in Heat 1 to do it, but then also probably could be a good thing because you're the guy that's got to get on with it. So yeah, unfortunate. Well, good for me. I didn't get to see Heat 1. I was in it, so I don't know. It's weird, Speedway, how you can kind of psych yourself out with just little things like that. But it was safe, it was fine, and hopefully we can get some good racing in.
I'm sure they will. I mean, we've already had 4 heats. How do you think the track's going to develop? I don't think we're expecting any more rain this afternoon. So how do you think it's going to develop? Because it's been a great start for you there.
I think you're going to see Bomber and Ridey on the fence later on. So I don't know if I'll be going that far. It's going to get a bit of a dirt line, but I think it will be pretty safe. They're doing a bit of work now, which is good. So it's nothing crazy. Like it is okay. So yeah, we just need to make it happen. And for me personally, it's going to be in the starts, I think, and whoever can get to the dirt line and be the smoothest on the track.
Absolutely. Justin, thanks so much for your
Thank
thoughts.
you.
I'll let you get back in the pits and carry on with the work you were doing. He was fiddling around with his clutch there when I went and grabbed him for a quick interview. So 4 races gone here at the Echo Arena, 4 different heat winners. Plenty more action still to come though this afternoon. Bit of track work still going on at the moment while we prepare for heat number 5. It's going to be a very interesting one. That you've got Chris Harris, Rory Schlein, Richard Lawson and Charles Wright. It's only going to get better, I feel, as the afternoon goes on. So I think we're almost ready just when the tractor comes back in, and we'll hand back to Ian Brannan and Adam Roynan to take you through the next box of heats.
Yeah, thanks. And there is Bomber just shooting the breeze there before his next heat, and he's out in this next heat, heat number 5. And there's the state of play after the first 4 heats. Obviously very early days yet. The top 4 are, of course, the 4 who have won those opening heats. But we can see there as well the riders that are yet to score a point too, and maybe the pressure already on them to get something from their next rides.
Yeah, I feel Charles Wright is the only one there that will feel disappointed from his points scored in his first ride, but he'll be looking to make that better very soon in his next one. So yeah, early days, yeah. And like I say, the track's developing. Riders are getting more and more confidence as it goes. So yeah, there's a long way to go yet.
There's the standings. Got some of your messages on Facebook as well. There's quite a lot of them, so apologies if we don't get yours read, but we'll do as many as we can. Ryan Muir says, can we have a shout out to Chris Ramsey, who's on the spanners? Come on, the Monarchs boys. There are a few Monarchs boys in the event. Sometimes it's obviously to do with, I mean, there was a couple extra in because of the withdrawals, and it's to do with riders who are available and have bikes in the area and can make it. And that's some of the reason why there are additional Edinburgh Monarchs riders. They happen to be available and able to get here at fairly short notice. So that covers that. What's the difference between Redcar and Pool's track? Redcar's a racer's track, Pool's a gator's track, says Colin. You agree?
No.
Okay. Zoe Chapman, Worrell for the win, but think Dougie's going to get it from Jack in sunny Scotland. P.S. My mum wants Ben Cook to win, as he's really the best rider this season. Okay, Zoe. Karen says good luck to Chris Bomber Harris. Steve Wright. Steve Wright, and actually it is the afternoon. I'm from Oban in Scotland, so a Glasgow Tigers fan. Come on, Bomber! Well, he's out in the next heat, so you'll be cheering him on there, I'm sure. Lisa Robinson's cheering on Charles and Danny. Come on, the Redcar Bears. Keith Hill. Now, I met Keith at Ipswich. He was with they had the uprights on, didn't they? The blast from the past riders. He was part of that. Watching at home in Hadley. Love to see Danny King finally get this one. Julie's cheering for Bomber. Nice to meet you at Foxhall near you too, Keith. Hope you had a good night. It was great to see the old uprights there after the event as well. Connor Brown, good luck to all former Bees riders. This is why I love watching Redcar. Such good racing. It is old school, isn't it? You know, a bit of banking, good old racing, and of course some former Coventry riders, as you well mentioned, involved too. Andy Green, maybe other British clubs should look at track covers. British Speedway and British Weather. Let's hope for a pirate victory though, says Andy in Dorset. Track covers only work in certain situations though, and this is one of them, where you've got fairly nice morning, dry day, a few heavy showers around. They were very heavy showers. They would have cleaned this meeting out and probably would have cleaned most other meetings out anywhere else. It just protects against that. You can't put track covers down and leave them down for days and days and days to protect against all weather and just pull them up at the last minute. The track's got to be ready, and then it's those late abandonments, isn't it, that you're protecting against?
Yeah, you can't have it rain and then just think, oh Christ, we need to pull the covers on now, because then once the covers are on there and it stops raining, the covers then start making the track sweat, and then it starts to create more and more moisture, and the track would then be just unrideable. So the fact that they've used their initiative and got it onto a real dry surface, and the rain, yeah, they could have covered the whole track, but there's not only so much covers they can actually manage to do. So the fact that we've got a race meeting on, and it is a race meeting, is really good. Yeah, not every track could do this, because some tracks of the greyhounds are very dictative what happens to the speedway. But no, the fact that they have done this here today has been really, really good.
We should also, in some way, thank Newcastle Speedway, who, of course, are a distant memory in some respects now in Speedway. But that's where the track covers came from. They were bought from Newcastle. The covers they used to protect the track were the covers that Newcastle used to use to protect the greyhound track.
Oh, why?
That's where they came from. So there you go. A little bit of Newcastle saving the meeting here at Red Car today.
Brilliant.
I think that's the case anyway. I believe that is. So they're marking the start out now, and we're ready to get underway with heat number 5. There's our camera high in the sky. Graham, our cameraman, is gone up in the world today and living the dream up there. 23 metres in the air, but he's got a good view.
That's precise, Ian. How do you know that?
Just swatted up on it beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here is the lineup for heat number 5 then, in memory of Claire and Gordon Gay. And gate number 1, a lot of fans for this man. Of course, Chris Bomber Harris goes off the inside gate number 1 in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Rory Schlein of the Berwick Bandits. Of the Pool Pirates, Richard Lawson in white from gate 3. And home star, home captain, Charles Wright of the Red Car Bears in yellow from gate 4. Elbows to the ready in this first bend then, isn't it? Certainly with Lawson and Wright and Harris.
Absolutely, and Charlie Wright, there's been 2 gate winners off from gate 4 already in this meeting, so he has it in here in heat 5. Strong opposition underneath him though going into this first turn, but riders like Bomber Harris, they'll be looking to go wide and catch the speed of the track coming off the corners. Richard Lawson had a good first ride also, so yeah, lots to play for in this heat number 5.
Yeah, lots to play for, and obviously in the lineup there we've got a couple of riders who had to settle for second place in their first ride, such as Richard Lawson and Chris Harris. Here we are then with heat number 5. As the tapes rise out of the traps there, look how quick Rory Schlein goes as he drops the clutch, and now coming around is Richard Lawson, although he now drops to the back. Coming through is Charles Wright. Chris Harris side by side with Charles Wright here. A great battle for second place. The lead is with Rory Schlein, and getting himself through into second now is Charles Wright, but Bomber hasn't finished yet.
Epic start there from Rory Schlein. Really dropped the clutch well, and he's out in front. Can he hold on to it? He's got Charles Wright and Bomber Harris battling there in second place. Bomber's trying to go for the typical bomb up the inside, but Charles is holding him off down the back straight. Bomber's going to try again though. Can Charles do anything about Schlein's lead?
You know, it's never too late for Chris Harris to pull a move here, but Charles right now starting to put Rory Schlein under pressure, gets a bit out of shape there, and that costs him a bit of time, and Chris Harris closes the gap once again here. Round the bend then, down to the checkered flag. It's going to be close, but Charles Wright nails it. Chris Harris has to settle for third place, and Charles Wright there needed another lap, didn't he? But he was closing on Rory Schlein, but what a ride from Ruboy.
Yeah, very, very good from Ruboy. The starts, I don't know whether Bomber missed it or Rory just made a brilliant start. Can't wait to see that one back on the replay, but he was perfect away from that start line, and yeah, rode another perfect 4 laps to grab the win.
So Rory Schlein, winner of heat number 5, second place to Charles Wright, Chris Harris third, and Richard Lawson fourth.
Yeah, very surprising to see Richard Lawson at the back there, especially after the speed he showed in his opening ride, but great from Rory Schlein to have the calibre of rider behind him in that one and grab himself 3 points.
Certainly so, and that's welcome points on the board for Rory Schlein here. of course, the former British champion. Another
he was telling me before how he's nearly won the Premiership Riders' Championship 3 times. He won it twice, so he said this is one that he needs to add to his.
It's a good game from Rory here, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was remarkable. That was really good. Richard Lawson's there battling with him in that first turn, but just spins up on that outside, which allows Harrison Wright to come through. It was very tight here between Harrison Wright, where Charlie he just hung on to it around that outside, just got enough dirt, enough speed to go around the outside of Bomber. Bomber tried to send it back underneath him in that opening first and second turn, but yeah, it was all about the speed from Schlein there that got him the 3 points for that one. On to the next one, we see Jake Allen packing his rut from the inside. That's kind of the way that riders do it at the minute, where there's a lot of dirt on the start line. The best way to pack it is with the steel shoe and really cement it and pack it down hard for the best chance of a getaway.
Here's your lineup then for heat number 6 with Cap Direct. 2 Scunthorpe Scorpions riders in this one with Jake Allen off gate number 1 in red. Gate 2 in blue is Ryan Douglas. Justin Sedgman in white from gate number 3. And from the outside in yellow, Richie Worrell. Heat number 6. And of these riders, certainly Justin Sedgman started as he meant to go on, winning his first heat. Dougie was very, very close to winning his, but not yet. Here we go, see if he can do better in heat number 6. As the tapes rise then, a good start from Jake Allen, a former Red Car Bear rider, but cutting through the middle. Here comes Richie Worrell. What a move from Richie Worrell there. And now he's being pursued by Ryan Douglas and Jake Allen. Dougie coming up the inside of Richie Worrell. This track's waking up now big time, isn't it? Here comes Dougie, Ryan Douglas up the inside, and now Worrell fights back.
What a race between these two guys out in front. Richie was like a knife. Whoa, very close there from Dougie. He was like a knife through butter on that opening corner, and he sees himself in front. Ryan Douglas is doing his utmost efforts to try and chase him down, with Jake Allen popping it around the inside there in third.
Yeah, Dougie's got his sights focused on Richie Worrell, but Jake Allen is still buzzing around there, around the exhaust pipe of Ryan Douglas to get himself into second. We're into the final lap now, and Richie Worrell has the lead here. He's being pursued by Ryan Douglas. Ryan Douglas has one last chance here, down to the finish line. Jake Allen's getting up the inside and involved in the action as well. But Dougie holds on for second, the win with Richie Worrell. What a race.
What a race, and what an opening lap that was. Yeah, just shows how this track can come alive at any time, and it certainly happened there. Great win there from Richie Worrell to grab himself 3 points. Dougie behind him battled hard, and equally Jake Allen. That was a superb end to heat number 6.
Richie Worrell with the win in heat number 6 then. Ryan Douglas second, Jake Allen third, and Justin Sedgman fourth. Your finishing order for heat 6 in the Championship League Riders Championship. I mean, there's some good racing here, Adam. It's getting going now here at Redcar.
It certainly is. The rider off gate 4 here, you think he's dead and buried in this first turn, but he just finds a gap right between the middle of everyone there, goes from last to first, exits that second turn with a lot of speed. Dougie then goes from third to second and puts a bit of pressure here. He sort of like gets a bit of unwanted grip, but he sends him across the corner. Richie Worrell pulls his nerve, blasts right around the outside in all that fresh dirt, gets a load of speed on the back wheel, just dancing coming off the second corner, and pulls away. Dougie here does remarkably well to control his motorbike and not run into Richie Worrell's back wheel there. He still battles on hard. He sort of like, yeah, almost lost it there going in the first turn, but controls his bike well, and while he's trying to battle with the guy out in front, he's having to control the guy from behind from passing him as well. Superb action.
Great race there as we move through the 2023 Championship League Riders Championship. Rory Schlein and Richie Worrell leading the way at this moment, but of course riders have got to have equal amount of rides yet, and we see Danny King out in this next ride, who won his first heat, of course. There's Paco Castagna, a late notice call-up. His bikes were here. He wasn't. He had to get himself down here at short notice, and he was able to make it. Of course, wasn't so long ago he was in the race to get himself a Grand Prix place in that GP race-off. Not so long back last weekend. Coming back from injury and going straight into that against some of the world's finest, but obviously he didn't bag a top spot, but good experience for Paco. You can see the gathered riders there watching on from the pits. I've got to say that there's Craig Cook, who doesn't look like he's in any hurry to get himself out here.
No, he doesn't. He's due to be out in this one, coming out of gate 1, cleaning his steel shoe off. I think that would mean that his night's done.
Well, the 2 minutes time allowance is on. He doesn't seem to be in a rush to get on that bike.
I think, yeah, there's the red lights now come on. It's he just ran the 2 minutes down.
Luke Harrison gets the call up.
There's nothing like going in at the deep end, especially in a lineup like this one. But Luke's an up-and-coming rider, and yeah, he'll enjoy the experience.
Yeah. Okay. So the red light is on now for Craig Cook, who's officially been excluded. So we'll try and find out more info about what's going on there when we can. Luke Harrison is the first track reserve, and he will get his chance now. Of course, he rides for the Red Car Bears. He's has been riding as a guest for the Red Car Bears, not a regular rider. He's covering for Jake Mulford at the moment, who's been injured. Also lines up for the Workington Comets in the National League as well. His first season of riding 500cc's machinery in this level of speedway in the championship, and made a great impression, and good experience for him to get out here and in a proper championship with the very best. Every heat's a heat 13, isn't it?
I'm just going to say that earlier in the meeting. Actually, yeah, every heat's is like a heat 13 or 15. So it's it's one that the riders, each one of them, they don't. It's all for pride and the points as well. Then also like the fact of when they go and you see riders see each other quite a lot. So they say, "Oh, I beat you there," or "I beat you there." But when they all come here to a kind of a track where only 2 riders ride here regularly, but when they say, "Oh, I beat you at Red Car," or "I did that," so yeah, there's a lot of bragging rights to be done here this evening as well. And Luke Harrison comes out of gate 1, and yeah, can he be a spoiler and show his pace around this racetrack?
Well, we will find out very shortly. And there's the revised lineup with Luke Harrison coming in as a track reserve here in place of Craig Cook, who's exceeded the 2 minute time allowance. In blue is Danny King from gate number 2. Off gate 3 in white is Paco Castagna, former 3-time Italian champion as well. Certainly knows his stuff when it comes to these individual tournaments. And Troy Batchelor in yellow from gate number 4. And this heat brought to you by Northeast Spider Hire, who are bringing us the aerial footage that you're looking at there. Here we go, heat number 7. And the tapes rise then into that first turn. Great start from Danny King there in blue of the Red Car Bears, stretching his legs down the back straight. Troy Batchelor though in hot pursuit. Paco Castagna in the mix as well. Luke Harrison currently 4th.
Danny King wound it right on there in that start line. He's made a fantastic start at gate 2, already running that higher wide line. Batchelor's in 2nd, now doing well because he's gotten 2 points after a disappointing opening first ride. Paco Castagna's there in 3rd, and yeah, just no answers to the speed of the boy out in front, Danny King.
Yeah, Danny King on his home circuit, very fast. I did fancy him from the start here. I think he's certainly going to be there or thereabouts, seeing how he's ridden so far. On unbeaten form at this moment in time. Danny King down the back straight, pops a little wheelie there as he comes around the 3rd and 4th turn for the final time to collect another big 3 points in the Championship League Riders Championship here at Red Car. On his home circuit, he's been 2nd in this tournament 3 times in his career. He's never won it, and he's looking to put that right tonight. And on your home circuit, it's got to be a big opportunity. Unbeaten so far tonight, Danny King of the Red Car Bears.
Yeah, unbeaten so far, but Danny King really does mean business. He's got the right setup as things go for tonight. Home track, like we say, and yeah, an important 3 points there for him. Troy Batchelor gets himself into 2nd, coming from gate 4 there. Paco Castagna with the 3rd, and Luke Harrison. Good experience from him there, comes in 4th, but all about the start there from Danny King. That was an impressive 3 points.
Certainly was an impressive start. The results of heat number 7, and we'll look back at the beginning there. It was really from the gate for Danny King and left everybody in his wake, didn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, reacts perfectly to that first corner. Really, there's no wheel lift. It just drives all the way to that first corner and just catches that little bit of fresh material around that inside line. And he already knows the way and the lines around this racetrack to get the best out of his motorcycle. And yeah, away he goes. And that was all she wrote.
Riders heading down to the tapes now. As you can see, a decent turnout here at Redcar. Usually is for most meetings, and tonight no exception, of course, with the very best from the Cab Direct Championship battling it out here, including that man there, Ben Cook. And interestingly, in this heat, we have 2 riders who won their first heat as well. So somebody's unbeaten record is going to go. Off gate number 1 in red is Kai Thompson. Louis Kerr from gate number 2 in blue of the Oxford Cheetahs. From the Poole Pirates in white is Ben Cook. And off the outside in yellow of the Berwick Bandits, former under-21 champion Leon Flint. And we're on to heat number 8 with Grant Henderson Tankers. And another rider there who answered the late notice call-up, with Kai Thompson coming into the lineup. And had a mixed season, really. He's been doing great for the Edinburgh Monarchs. Got that opportunity with the King's Lynn Stars. It didn't really work out. But be hoping to see if he can get himself some points on the board again in this next heat now, as the riders come down to the tapes. Do fancy that Louis Kerr has the bit between his teeth here this evening. Here we go. Off they go then. It's a good start from Louis Kerr, who pins it to the inside. Leon Flint getting in on the action now. Coming around the outside. Look at Leon Flint go. He gets himself into the lead. Louis Kerr in the mix as well, coming up the inside. Ben Cook looking to split the pair of them at the moment. Ben Cook going around the outside, cuts back up the inside of Louis Kerr. What a move from Ben Cook to get himself into second. The lead is with Leon Flint.
What a race we've got going on here. It was all about Leon Flint around that first turn. He got himself to the front, and then after that, Ben Cook. Ben Cook's got himself into second place, past a very, very fast Louis Kerr there, and now he's challenging after Leon out front.
Don't take your eyes off this one, folks. Leon Flint's in the lead, into the final lap. Ben Cook is all over him. Ben Cook just following Leon Flint round. He goes wide, tries to extend that straight. It sort of gets it wrong a little bit there. Gives an opportunity for Louis Kerr to hit back. Ben Cook pulls away again from that Louis. Holds his second place. Good battle there. And 3 big points for Leon Flint.
God, that's yeah, this racetrack's really coming alive now, when Leon Flint just showed us that by rocketing around and getting the win ahead of 2 previous race winners. So yeah, that's really changed the different nights' aspirations for Leon there, and a well-deserved 3 points.
Well, we asked if anybody could preserve their unbeaten record, and the answer was neither of them. So we only have 1 unbeaten rider so far, and that's Danny King. Leon Flint winning heat number 8. Second place, Ben Cook battling all the way, and Louis Kerr 3rd, Kai Thompson 4th. And that's the result of heat number 8. But Leon Flint getting himself back in the mix very, very quickly there after a disappointing first ride, failed to score in his first heat, and then wins the second one.
I was more focused on the guys off of 2 and 3 here, going towards that first turn, and yeah, didn't even give any regards for Leon, but he certainly blasted around the outside well there. He's really good in the dirt, is Leon. He's had his lot of time at Berwick, and he rides that dirt really well, and he just kept his speed up, keeps his momentum down the home straight, and he pulls off the lead and wasn't really challenged after that. It was the battle that went on for second place here between Ben Cook. There was the move, manages to turn it back, square off the corner a little bit earlier than what Louis Kerr had, and yeah, finds the speed to pass Louis. Tried to battle on and grab the win and pass Leon, but wasn't to be. So yeah, very, very good heat 8 there, and the track's starting to come to us, isn't it, Ian?
So there we go then, and a win for Leon Flint in heat number 9, and he gets himself, fires him up the leaderboard quite a bit. I think we can have a look at the standings as we go. Only 1 unbeaten rider tonight, and that man is Danny King, currently 2nd in the standings. Rory Schlein, and then you've got Ben Cook, Louis Kerr, Richie Worrell and Ryan Douglas. Justin Sedgman and Leon Flint tied on 7th. Charles Wright, Chris Harris tied on 9th. Batchelor and Lawson tied 11th. 13th, we've got Jake Allen. Joint 14th, Kai Thompson and Paco Castagna keeping it Edinburgh. And Craig Cook yet to score. Of course, missing out on his last heat due to exceeding the time allowance. Let's head over to the BSM booth then. We've got some track grading going on. The only unbeaten man so far is Danny King, and he's with Hayley Bromley at the BSM booth now.
Yes, he is. Thanks very much, Ian. Danny King, the only rider so far this evening, unbeaten on the night.
Yeah, it's been a good start. made 2 really good gates, so obviously that makes a difference, certainly in a field so strong. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. We're just one race at a time, and obviously the main goal is to get to that final.
You've done that several times before. You've been second in this meeting or its equivalent in previous seasons. Sam Masters, of course, not here to defend his title, so we will have a new champion. I mean, what would it mean to you to go ahead and win today, your first time winning this meeting?
It'd be great. I think I've had second 3 times now, so it'd be nice to get one step higher. But yeah, we'll just have to see, really. As I say, just one race at a time, get to that final, and if I can be on top of the roster in front of my home crowd, it'll be icing on the cake. Absolutely,
the crowd absolutely loving seeing how well you guys are doing today. Obviously, the rain played its part early doors with the track preparation, but it looks like, as comms have said frequently at the moment, the track's starting to wake up a bit now.
It is, definitely. You know, you've got to take your hat off to the guys on the track staff. There was a lot of rain here earlier today, and they got the sheets down to cover the corners, and it's made a great job. Obviously, it's going to take a while to settle down, which I think it has now, and then we're going to get some good racing. But yeah, the good news is we're on.
Absolutely, some fantastic racing already so far today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this track produces good racing, and when you've got a field of this quality, it's always going to happen, isn't it? So, yeah, long way to go, but so far so good.
Absolutely. Which gates would you say are the ones that are the favourable ones at the moment?
I don't know. I know gate 3 is not the best, and I've just looked. I've got that in my next one, so I need to pull some magic out the back there. But we'll see. I think all the others are probably pretty even, but it looks to me like gate 3's not the best.
Absolutely. I mean, heat number 10, you're out next. Some pretty stiff competition in that one. Ben Cook and Richard Lawson. Sedgwick coming last in the second ride there, but he won his first heat, so no easy races today.
No, there's certainly no easy races, and everyone's quick round here. You know, someone's got to come last, and you just got to hope it's not you. So yeah, as I say, I'll see what I can do off gate 3, and we'll just concentrate on that race.
Absolutely. Danny, thanks so much for your thoughts. I'll let you get back in the pits.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Danny King there, so far the only rider, 2 rides and 2 wins to his name. He's won this meeting, as I've said, not won this meeting, come second in this meeting at least 3 times. So a win today would be the first time he would have won this match. We'll be underway with the action once again in heat number 9. This race with Rory Schlein, Richie Worrell, Leon Flint and Craig Cook. A bit of confusion in the pits at the moment concerning Cook. In his last ride, he was under the 2 minutes and didn't make an appearance because he said he had no bike. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there, if he has some mechanical problems that are preventing him from getting out in that race. So fingers crossed he's solved the problem, and we'll see him in heat number 10. That race coming up in a few moments time once we've finished the track prep here at the Echo Arena for the 2023 Championship Riders Individual. So back then to your commentary team ahead of the next batch of races. Ian, Adam, over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, track grading work continues. We're just trying to get more info on what's happening with Craig Cook. He's said he hasn't got a bike, but he hasn't withdrawn from the meeting, so we'll see what happens when he's next out. His next programme ride is in this next heat number 9, so we will wait and see what becomes of that. Some of your messages then on Facebook. Thanks to you for getting in touch. Lisa Robinson says, Danny King is on fire. Obviously not literally, but he's having a good night so far. The only unbeaten rider this evening. Alison Tibbett says, good luck Rory and Leon, and for the Bandits. Come on Rory and Leon, says Emma Arbuckle. The Bandits fans are out in force. Louise Atkinson, can you wish Paul Rushton a big happy birthday from me, Rachel, Emma and Daisy, hoping the Berwick riders Rory and Leon do well. Well, certainly Leon Flint has had a decent last outing, hasn't he? And Jamie Glasheen finishing off Sophie's 7th birthday watching BSN from the living room. And our Lone Tigers representative, let's go Marsha Novak, Bomber Harris. Yes. Well, what a signing Glasgow made this week, though, with Tarasenko joining the ranks, and we'll be there for Tarasenko's debut, I believe, in a week on Friday. So there is the picturesque vista of Middlesbrough, and that's the Transporter Bridge.
I first seen that on Alfiedersheim pet.
Oh right, yeah, so it would have been on there.
I was on Alfiedersheim pet, and then they took it down, didn't they? And then moved it to Arizona or something.
Arizona, yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah,
and then
that's right,
and then when I came in the first time, I was like, Dad, it's back.
Jimmy Nail is very, very reliable.
He's back, Dad, and you went, no, Adam, let me explain something to you. I was only young. Why I?
Yeah, well, there you go, with Middlesbrough and the chemical works in the background there, and the port. You've got a message to do.
I have got a message, and it's a congratulations to Olivia Armstrong. She's the daughter of John and Kelly Armstrong, John the former rider, for the birth of her daughter, Freya Armstrong. So many congratulations. John Armstrong's now a granddad.
There you go.
So
eh?
yeah, Mighty Midget is a granddad. So yeah,
time marches on.
certainly does. So yeah, congratulations. Hope everyone's well.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, keep your messages coming in. We'll do as many as we can when we get the chance. There's Paco Castagna, Jacob Hook in the pits there, helping out as well. And there's Kai Thompson also, a bit of an Edinburgh corner in the pits.
Yeah, a bit of an Edinburgh corner, and they all find themselves at the bottom of the standings. So some work to be done for the guys there. No saying that they're meaning to be down there. That's forgiven. But yeah, there's got to be some different mental preparations to go on and yeah, grab some points from this meeting.
Yeah, we're hearing Craig Cook is now withdrawn from the meeting.
Shame.
So that's a shame for Craig Cook. Craig Cook withdrawn, and his rides obviously will be taken by the track reserves. So we've already seen Luke Harrison, but Sam McGurk, a track reserve as well, and they will get their chance, including in the next heat, in fact, because Craig Cook was due to be out in our next heat up against Richie Worrell, Leon Flint, and Rory Schlein. So there we are. That's the news that we hear from the pits at this moment, and Sam McGurk will come in to replace Craig Cook in heat number 9. Leon Flint then certainly had a better ride than his first, and it's going to give him confidence, and he's gone well around this circuit before in individual competitions, I think, as well. With they had the British Under-21 Championship here before, and I seem to remember he did well that year. It's the year that Tom Brennan won it. They had that event here, which was previously probably the biggest single individual event they'd held for British Speedway, but here tonight obviously a lot bigger. And there's a look at the gate stats. Gate number 3, oh no, it's all about gate number 4 where most of the points are coming from. So 4 or 2 have done well in terms of winners this evening. Of course, it's not all about the gating, meaning that you're going to win the race, but certainly that's what the statistics say. Nothing from gate 3, but it's again maybe perhaps that whole thing where gate 3 is a bit more on the racing line, and sometimes that affects things a little bit.
It's exactly that. It's right on the racing line. The riders, they're kind of still sliding as they go over gate 3, and it really takes all the dirt from the starting position. So you've really got to scrat around at the start line to dig everywhere to try and get yourself any sort of form of grip to. Because you're off gate 3 here, and you look to your left and you see gate 2, and it's full of ruts and dirt and everything. You think, well, that's a good start. And you look at gate 4, which, yeah, gates 2 and 3 have the highest stats at this moment in time from winners of this meeting. Oh, sorry, winners of this heat. So yeah, gate 3 is very, very difficult to come out, but it's not impossible. It can be done, and Danny King, that's why he was expressing his concerns of coming out of gate 3 in his next one. But if anyone's able to do it tonight, it's certainly Danny. There's Richie Worrell just getting prepared for his next heat, coming out of the inside gate position. He's had a steady night so far, looking to keep improving on that one, but he's up against some stiff opposition in this one.
Yeah, certainly is. As we get back underway, Richie Worrell, not Richie Worrell, Sam McGurk heading out onto the track.
That's definitely Richie Worrell.
That's Richie Worrell's bike though, isn't it?
Yeah. Our caption that we've got on the screen should have Sam McGurk in for Cookie.
Yeah, Craig Cook is in yellow. So Sam McGurk needs to go in yellow. That is Richie Worrell. I was like, I'm sure it looks like Richie Worrell's bike. So yeah, Richie Worrell goes off gate number 1. There's
Sam McGurk just having a quick practice start to get himself at one with his bike.
And he's another rider from Workington, isn't he? The Workington Comets in the National League, and comes in as a track reserve in place of Craig Cook. Here is your lineup then for heat number 9. Richie Worrell in red from gate number 1. Off gate 2 in blue is Leon Flint. Rory Schlein in white from gate 3. And from the outside in yellow is Sam McGurk. Big one for the Berwick Bandits fans. Who are you going to cheer on? You can pick only one.
You can pick only one, but both are doing well this evening. So
yeah, they both had a win, haven't they?
Yeah, they're both doing well, and they've got to continue on here if they want to stand any chances of getting themselves into the latter parts of this meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rory Schlein takes gate 2, which has done all right as far as the statistics go. Sam McGurk off gate 4, which is the best one. Imagine if he gets off to a flyer.
It can be done.
We've seen it done. Okay, as we resume. The rider leading the standings at the moment then is Danny King. Rory Schlein currently sitting second. So this heat very big for him, you have to say. As the tapes rise, away we go. Into that first turn, it's another good start from Richie Worrell. Cutting up the inside comes Leon Flint. Can't quite lay a glove on Richie Worrell just yet. Rory Schlein holding that outside line here. Richie Worrell now increasingly under pressure from Leon Flint, who's getting up the inside of Richie Worrell. Shifts him a little bit wide, and Richie Worrell starting to put a bit of daylight between himself and the other riders behind him, but no, Leon Flint still holding that inside line. Leon Flint hits the front and gets up the inside of Worrell. Worrell back over Flint, down the back straight. Worrell starting to pull away a little bit now, but this is a good battle here between the two Berwick riders and Richie Worrell.
What a grace we've got from the front three here. We've got, Richie Worrell. He's managed to pull a little bit of ground out of Leon Flint there, but Leon battled hard and well around that inside to put him under pressure. Richie's just managed to gain a little bit more pace out of his motorcycle and get out for the front. Rory Schlein's been battling hard all race, and it's a third place for Rory there, but great win from Richie Worrell. That was well deserved, and he had to be worked hard for it by Leon Flint.
Yeah, good battle between Richie Worrell and Leon Flint there, and a shake of the hands down the back straight. But Richie Worrell moves on to 7 points for the evening so far, and starting to have one eye on at least getting through to the semi-finals here. Richie Worrell with the win, Leon Flint second, Rory Schlein third, Sam McGurk fourth. Heat number 9 with red campers.
Richie's winning time 54.6.
And we'll have a look back at the start of that race again. And good little ding-dong battle here between the two riders there, Richie Worrell and Leon Flint in particular.
Yeah, and I felt if they even mixed themselves up, then Rory Schlein could have pounced and upset both of them too. But it was a good battle from the front three there. It was very close racing for the whole race really, and it was Richie Worrell that came out on top of that one. You feel that Rory Schlein here, he's really wide in that outside line. He's creating a load of speed, but can't really do a lot with it. He's having to get out the throttle and just sort of be conservative behind the back wheel there of Richie Worrell. He's trying hard, but meanwhile there, Leon Flint getting a brilliant drive and exit of turn 2 there. He's keeping just 2 races, so one's riding the outside line creating a load of speed, and one's getting a load of speed around the inside, so very close racing, and just shows the beauty of this racetrack that it can develop the racing lines that it is, and we're getting treated to some fantastic racing here this afternoon.
Yeah, we certainly are. Some good action here out on track, and the only unbeaten man so far tonight is that one there, Danny King of the Red Car Bears, on his home circuit, and certainly got his eye on it. It's his 6th Championship League Riders' Championship of his career, 3 silver medals, and of course previously British champion in 2016. And let's have a look at the lineup now of heat number 10 with Cab Direct. Ben Cook in red from gate number 1. Richard Lawson from gate number 2 in blue. The 2 Pool Pirates riders side by side. Danny King is in white from gate number 3 for the Red Car Bears. And representing Birmingham off gate number 4 in yellow is Justin Sedgman.
Crikey, this is a tasty looking lineup,
ain't it?
Isn't it just? Justin Sedgman, bit of a dark horse here coming out of gate 4. Statistically the best gate so far this evening, and he's looking there to be making the best sort of start. He's a bit of a gator, is Sedgy, so can he get across the guys in front of him, but underneath him, sorry, but they're all vying for and dying for more points to get themselves further in this competition.
Yeah, all of these riders, aside from Richard Lawson, have won at least one heat so far. Here we go with heat 10. And off they go then into that first turn. It's a great gate from Ben Cook here. And now trying to get up the inside is the rider in blue, Richard Lawson. The 2 Pool Pirates riders dueling here out front. And Richard Lawson comes through to get into the lead over Ben Cook. Danny King, unbeaten so far, currently in 3rd, chasing down his 2 former Pool Pirates teammates. Ben Cook in the lead, Richard Lawson 2nd, Danny King 3rd.
Superb move there from Ben Cook to go in wide into that first turn, cut back and pass Richard Lawson down the back straight, and he finds himself out in front. Danny King had a robust move there on Justin Sedgman's turn 3 to get himself into 3rd, and it's Ben Cook out in front pulling away.
Yeah, great first lap from Ben Cook. and now he's got some clear daylight. Danny King putting a lot of pressure on Richard Lawson here into this final turn. Danny King steaming up the inside of Richard Lawson, down to the line. I think Danny King might have got that.
I think Richard Lawson might have got that one. So
okay.
yeah, that was
one of us is right.
Yeah, that was mightily close, and yeah, some good racing being shown again. Superb from Ben Cook. That was a very intelligent ride and use of track position and racing line to get the better of Richard Lawson, who previously got the better of him. So yeah, that's a fantastic account from Cookie so far. He's got 8 points, and yeah, he's on to a bit of a good one this evening.
Okay. Let's have a look here. Of course, Danny King's unbeaten run ends in this heat then, but great start from Ben Cook. Richard Lawson comes to the party. Ben Cook says, not tonight.
Not tonight, indeed. And yeah, it's the two Pool Pirates riders out in front, giving it a real racing go there. The Cookie, he just kept it wound on around the outside. It was the move here. He just cuts back, changes his body position with on the bike, and just runs a little bit of a shorter track than what Richard does. Allows his back wheel to be in that fresh dirt exit in the corner and sends it underneath Richard Lawson in the third turn. Lawson cuts back himself and tries to have an answer back to Ben, but he has no drive exit in the fourth turn, and that was that. And then it was the race between him, Richard Lawson, and Danny King for the rest of the race. And yeah, it was Lawson. Oh, so is that how it's finished?
Yeah.
I
got it right.
Way, fair play to you.
Ben Cook with the win, Danny King second, Richard Lawson third, Justin Sedgman fourth. The result of heat number 10. There you go. Right down to the line for Danny King then.
I was confused because Lawson had more speed after it, so I thought he might have just pipped Danny to the line, but Danny got himself a very valuable 2 points there.
Very valuable indeed, and keeps Danny King joint top of the standings as of this moment as well, alongside Ben Cook now, who's currently the top two riders at this stage. Of course, got some more rides to come to even things out. Heat number 11 with Global Offshore Logistics. Louis Kerr in red from gate number 1, representing the Oxford Cheetahs. Charles Wright, the red car captain on his home circuit, off gate number 2 in blue. Gate 3 in white, Troy Batchelor of the Birmingham Brummies. And from the Scunthorpe Scorpions in yellow is Jake Allen.
Going to be a ding-dong between the riders in red and blue here.
Heat number 11. As the tapes rise into this first turn, Louis Kerr gets the early advantage here. Watch what happens down the back straight though, and it's Jake Allen who moves through into second. And now here comes Charles Wright blasting around, but the lead remains with Louis Kerr in heat number 11. Charles Wright comes steaming up to the inside of Jake Allen, and those two riders having a battle for second at the moment. The lead with Louis.
Yeah, Jake Allen, he's starting to put it sort of strut his stuff around that inside line, and he's challenging hard on Charles right there. Louis Kerr so wide. Whoa, Jake Allen, he's managed to pass him. Charlie back under the inside of him. Whoa, actions are swapping places for fun here. This is some great bit of racing. Charles, can he now settle himself into that second place? Louis Kerr, wow, it looks like he's in a different postcode here, riding so wide.
Into the final bend then, Louis Kerr, he's going to win heat number 11. Second place for Charles Wright, a hard fought second place with Jake Allen taking third. Troy Batchelor fourth, but some good moves there between Jake Allen and Charles Wright, battling for that extra point. The winner of the heat, Louis Kerr, moves himself onto 7 points for the night. Louis Kerr going about his business fairly quietly there, out front, keeping himself out of trouble, but he's tossing the points up nicely. Louis Kerr with the win in heat number 11. Charles Wright second, Jake Allen third, Troy Batchelor fourth. Your finishing order for heat 11 in the 2023 Championship League Riders Championship. Let's have a look at that again.
Yeah, I thought Charles Wright might have made a bit of a better start than they did, but he seemed to spin up there coming out of gate 2, and it just hampered him for a metre or two there in that first corner. Jake Allen makes full use of that poor-ish start from Charles Wright and grabbed himself into that second. Charles, he knows where to go now. He just puts it straight in the high wide line of the faster around the outside, gets a load of speed to then slingshot down the home straight and dive bomb Jake Allen. But he does go wide, and that opens the door there for Jake Allen to keep him honest down that back straight. Louis Kerr, superb ride here. He knows every inch of this racetrack, and he knows the fastest line to be on, and that's the one that he was on, and it resulted in a race win for him. He rides this place so wide, bike under under control, and yeah, the battle here for the second place between Alan and Wright there was was a great little tussle between the two. Very fair, no dirty riding, and it was Charlie that came out on top.
Yeah, riders heading down to the tapes. Chris Harris is involved in this heat, and he's on a fresh bike. Heat number 12 with no brakes, no fear, the official British Speedway podcast. This week, the main guest is Phil Morris, race director of the Speedway Grand Prix, and of course the CEO of the Sports Insure Premiership, talking about the track at Cardiff and what to expect. Completely new material and a slightly different shape. In short, we'll find out more about it by listening. Chris Harris then lines up in red off gate number 1 on a fresh bike. Kai Thompson in blue from gate 2. Ryan Douglas in white from gate 3, and Paco Castagna in yellow off gate 4. Heat number 12. And away they go. Well, Bomber's spare bike seems to be going all right, doesn't it? Ryan Douglas, though, forced to go round the boards here.
Whoa.
Ryan Douglas round Chris Harris into the lead in heat number 12. And now here comes Bomber to repay the favour. Chris Harris gets back round Ryan Douglas into the lead. What a battle between Bomber and Dougie here.
What an opening lap of Speedway that was between Ryan Douglas and Chris Harris. They passed and repassed each other. Bomber's now stolen a march out in front. He's riding that high line, riding the wheels off of that motorbike, and he's having to work hard for it. But Dougie's on him, and can he hang on to the rest of this race? But this has been a superb ride so far by Bomber Harris.
Kai Thompson also in the mix here in third, keeping the pressure on Ryan Douglas there in second. Chris Harris, though, is storming here, and he's looking good to take his first win of the night in heat number 12. Chris Harris won a battle with Ryan Douglas in the opening laps of heat number 12 as well there. Ryan Douglas in second, Kai Thompson third, Paco Castagna fourth. And Bomber doing what Bomber does.
Yeah, but I wish he started on that bike.
It did all right, that one, didn't it?
It did all right. That was, very determined ride there from Chris Harris.
And the result of heat 12 then, Chris Harris with the win, Ryan Douglas second, Kai Thompson third, Paco Castagna fourth. Your results of heat number 12.
That was a great opening lap of Speedway between the two riders from Glasgow and Scunthorpe. Here we see at the start again. Bomber out of gate 1, Dougie out of gate 3. I thought Dougie was going to be the first rider to win out of gate 3 this evening, and his move in the first turn should have said that he was going to be winning this one, but it was the move back here from Chris Harris. He sends it in wider and just rails that dirt on the outside, gets a load of speed, and says, yeah, Dougie, you've gone round me, I'll go back round you. And that's where Bomber stayed. He's very good riding that in that outside line. He's such a talent on a motorbike, and Ryan Douglas had no answers to him once he got past him. And yeah, Bomber, he's riding, like I said in commentary, riding the wheels off of that thing to get himself the 3 points for that heat.
Yeah, great ride from Chris Harris, and I'm sure the many Bomber fans that we know are watching this will have enjoyed that. There's Ben of the Ben Fund, the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund, making a collection here at this event, as they will be at all of the major events and at all the tracks, many of which have already taken place, but a hugely important source of revenue to keep injured riders going when the money suddenly stops as you hit the fence.
As I well know, and thank you to the Ben Fund for all the help they do for all those injured riders.
Looking at the leaderboard then at this moment in time, of course, we've had the third round of rides now, and let's have a quick look at where we're at. Currently leading the way, Ben Cook and Danny King. They are, at this moment in time, heading straight through to the final. Of course, it's all to play for. Louis Kerr, Richie Worrell, Rory Schlein and Chris Harris currently qualifying for the semi-final, with the top two, of course, joining the first two of the semi-final for the final four. Ryan Douglas equals 7th, Leon Flint 8th, and that's how it goes at the moment. Let's head over to the BSM booth. We've got a bit of a shower in the air at the moment, bit of track watering going on. Let's go to the pits and the BSM booth with Louis Kerr with Hayley Bromley.
Yeah, let's hope that the rain doesn't come down too heavy. It is spitting here at the Echo Arena, and I've got Louis Kerr with me. Louis, 7 points so far from 3 rides. You're in the running for the last chance qualifier here at the Echo Arena. Ideally, you want to be up there going straight through to the final, don't you?
Yeah, it'd be nice. We'll keep ticking them off. take each race as it comes. And the track's becoming good now, so it's quite heavy. But fair play to him for getting it on.
Definitely, and you're an ex-red car racer, of course, and certainly showing still that you know the quickest way around this track.
Yeah, I enjoy coming here, and it's a great track, one of the best in the country, so yeah, very enjoyable.
And I mean, we've already discussed at length, track conditions, how they've evolved, but doing a little bit of watering now, would you believe, after all the rain we've had?
Yeah, that's right. It was a bit inconsistent early on. It was expected really, but yeah, like I said, it's coming good now.
Yeah, you had a third place in your second outing, and you bounced back there with a race win in your third. So 2 race wins to your name so far. Not bad at all.
No, not too bad. Yeah, small mistake in the second race, but we'll see what we can do off gate 3 now. It's going to be difficult, but yeah, see what we can do.
It's been a bit of a graveyard, hasn't it, gate 3?
Yeah, just a bit.
I mean, the level of competition out there in the field, it's not one that's going to make any race easy no matter what gate you go off, is it?
No, it's a great lineup. It's a great league, the championship, so every race is tough. So we'll keep ticking them off.
Certainly is. Now, I got to ask you, because obviously you raced for the Sheffield Tigers in the Premiership as well. Your teammate Ty Wolfenden recently joined up with the Tigers. Is there a competition between you guys as to who has the most tattoos? You're like the most illustrated team probably in the Premiership with the amount of ink you guys have got.
Yeah, that's right. Something like that. I think I've got a long way to go before I catch him up, but yeah, we'll keep getting him.
I mean, how is it having Ty as a teammate though? What's it been like since he came into the team? What's he contributed to the septet?
He's in all areas, to be honest. Just watching him, he makes it look effortless. He's unreal. But yeah, he helps everyone in the pits, and yeah, an all-rounder, to be honest.
I mean, I know he's helped you quite considerably as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, a lot. Obviously, I'm with him in a couple of my races, and he's tried to help me with lines if we're on a 5-1, what I should be doing, and just to try and get the job done. So yeah.
Putting that advice into practice?
Yeah, that's what we tried to anyway. Yeah, that's it.
Definitely. 2 rides still to go here this evening. Hopefully this rain just passes us over. Where are you? You're out in heat number 14 next. Chris Harris, Justin Sedgman. I mean, Bomber's been going pretty well so far as well. What do you think you can expect from that race?
Like I say, it's going to be tough off gate 3. I'll see what I can do, but Bomber's going to be charging. So yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Absolutely. Well, Louis, I won't keep you anymore. I'm going to let you go get ready for your next race. Thank you very much, Louis Kerr there. We still have a bit of track grading going on here, folks. There is a little bit of rain in the air, but nothing too torrential, so hopefully nothing that will be detrimental to proceedings. I'm not quite sure how long the track preparation is going to go on, so I'm just going to nip back into the pits, see if there's someone else I can have a chat with, and I'll leave you with Ian and Adam to keep you company for a little while. Back to you guys.
Yeah, as you can see, it's umbrella o'clock. We've got a little bit of rain in the air, just a little shower, just a passing, glancing one. It's very, very dark indeed over in the distance, but I think we're just getting the fringes of that, so hopefully nothing particularly to worry about. But we've seen some good racing here, Adam, through the course of tonight. The track has improved. There were concerns a little bit at the start with the fact that the track had been covered up to protect against some really, really heavy rain showers that we had, proper cloudburst stuff that was going on here through the course of the afternoon. We got through that. The track sorting itself out now. They have actually been watering it a little bit as well, just to because it was undercover. It was very, very dry. So that has happened. We have a bit of rain in the air at the moment, but nothing too severe. And you can see the riders having a chat in the pits as we have a little bit of an interval at this moment in time. Some more of your messages then on social media, shall we, and see what you've got to say about the meeting, and I hope you're enjoying it wherever you are this evening. Hi to Graham Porter, who's a big red car fan, and he says he's watching from Florida. Oh. Let's put on a Speedway show. Teesside Pride, we are Red Car Bears.
Look at you.
It's a bit warmer where you are, I suspect, than where we are. Not that it's particularly cold here, but certainly slightly on the wet side at times. Hackney Speedway. Red car reminds me of the fantastically banked Halifax. Sadly, no longer. Hackney in 1980 actually won there, and there aren't many southern teams to win at the Shea. Quick mention to Dave Morton, King of the Wick in 76. Yeah, well, see, the first Speedway track I ever went to was Halifax. I do remember it. Halifax is probably a bit bigger, a bit more like Probably a bit more like Berwick, to be honest.
Was that the sheer?
The sheer, yeah.
That's right.
Proper cinder track. Grey cinders on it. And then obviously they moved to Bradford. That was banked. Not that was more banked than that.
Yeah, whoa, loads more.
I think it was it 9 meters from the inside to the out?
Oh, something like that.
Let's head over to the BSM booth. We've got Ryan Douglas with Hayley Bromley there right now.
Yep, just a quick moment of Dougie's time because I think we're almost ready to go racing. Dougie, 3 second places so far. Nice, consistent performance from yourself.
Yeah, it's obviously would like a couple of race wins as well, but haven't really found a setup that I'm happy with yet. I'm kind of not getting the best ride, so we made another change now and hopefully it'll be better in the next one.
It was quite a dramatic end to last year's Championship Riders Individual at Poole, wasn't it? Just tell us what happened there and hopefully we can avoid a repeat of that this year.
Yeah, obviously made a good start in the final, and on that night as well it was probably a race to the dirt, and that was kind of it. So I felt like I was in pole position, and then obviously Louis and Sam got tangled up and took me with them through the fence. So yeah, that was obviously not a nice end to the night, but yeah, we live and we learn, and back today and hopefully a bit better finish to the night.
Definitely. You're out now in heat number 15. Next up, Leon Flint, Troy Batchelor and Richard Lawson, your opponents. Those boys also on the hunt for points, but keep this up, you could be at least finding yourself in the last chance qualifier, if not the final.
Yeah, that's it. It's just aim to make it to that, and then anything can happen. So no, we're chipping away, just trying to obviously find something a bit better and getting a bit better ride. So hopefully we find that now and kick on a bit.
And how are you enjoying the track today?
Yeah, it's different. Obviously they've had some rain with the covers down, and it's dry and slick in some places, and then wet and a bit of grip and slimy in others. So yeah, it's different, but same for everyone.
Absolutely. There goes the klaxon. Dougie, thank you so much for your time. That is 2 minutes now for heat number 13 of the Championship Riders Individual here at Redcar. So I'll pass you back to Ian and Adam to take you through the next batch of races. I'll get my words out. Next batch of races. Guys, all yours.
Yeah, the irony is that Troy Batchelor isn't actually riding. That would have been seamless, wouldn't it? From a batch of races to a batch on track. But it's not there.
Next time.
We do, however, have Ben Cook out in this one, and he currently is the joint leader of the event with Danny King. I'm taking my raincoat off, I'm that confident. It's the fine balancing act between being too hot and being too dry. That's where we're at the moment. And there's Rory Schlein, who is currently in the mix at the moment to get himself through at least to the semi-final. He's there or thereabouts, so this could be pretty crucial actually for a number of riders, particularly for Ben Cook and Rory Schlein, as they keep their charge going here to get through the final stages. It's 20 heats, followed by a semi-final and a grand final, so basically you need to finish in the top 6 to be involved in the final stages. Paco Castagna is off gate number 1 in red, Ben Cook off gate 2 in blue, Jake Allen in white from gate 3, and off gate 4 in yellow, Rory Schlein, heat 13 with Chateau Labriance. And certainly, I imagine the owner of Chateau Labriance will be cheering on the rider in blue here.
Oui.
And there is Rory Schlein. That outside gate has performed well at times. The inside gate seems to have come more alive lately. Let's see how we go for this latest track grade. Heat 13 is underway, and into that first bend then, it's the rider in blue, Ben Cook, who continues his great form. He's got some big competition though, because Paco Castagna in the mix now. He's found his mojo. Paco Castagna up the inside of Ben Cook. What a ride by Paco to get himself into the lead here in heat 13. Back comes Ben Cook on Paco Castagna, the 3-time Italian champion, under pressure from Ben Cook of the Poole Pirates, and Ben Cook back in the lead again.
Yeah, Ben Cook made light work of Paco there, even though he passed him, he managed to repass him back, and he's already managed to pull a bit of a distance out of Paco there. Ben Cook's on fire tonight. He's on the form of his life at the moment, and he's riding really, really well, and he's taking control of this heat 13.
There's a battle going on at the back as well. Rory Schlein slips to the back there at the expense of Jake Allen, and immediately comes back up the inside of Jake Allen once again. The lead and the win is with Ben Cook. Rory Schlein gets himself into third at the end of the heat. All sorts of stuff going on there, but Ben Cook's charge towards the top continues.
It does. It was a great start there from Ben Cook, but a handy 3 points puts him on to 11 for his efforts this evening, and yeah, he's looking a force to be reckoned with.
Ben Cook with the win. Good battle there with Paco Castagna, who'll feel that he's found a bit more form there after A bit of a trickier start to the night. There is the result of heat number 13. Ben Cook with the win, Paco Castagna second, Rory Schlein third, and Jake Allen fourth. Battles all the way through there in different forms. Let's have a look at the start again.
Yeah, the ride out of Ben Cook out of gate number 2 here makes an excellent start. The bike reacts really well and drives him hard to that first corner, and he's in front. It's Paco here. He rides that inside line so well, and he just perseveres with it, rides that inside line, and it's a shorter distance, and especially after the track grids, all that fresh material around the inside, and he pulls a bit of a lead out of Ben Cook just initially there. But Ben Cook, he's got a brilliant setup on his bike for this evening, and he's already starting to put Paco back under pressure, and then Paco runs a little bit too wide into somewhat no man's land, and Ben was able to make the pass and clear off and take the victory.
Yeah, absolutely, and the victory it was as well. That keeps Ben Cook looking good. He's got one ride left on 11 points right now. Ben Cook leading the way, but of course other riders such as Danny King, Louis Kerr have still got to have their rides yet, but Ben Cook looking good at this moment in time. There's only really Danny King that could overhaul him at the top, and it's looking like it's, well, Danny King, we'll see what he does when he has his ride, and we'll have a good picture of how things might turn out at the very, very top, going automatically through. Here is the lineup then for heat number 14. Justin Sedgman in red from gate 1. Off gate 2 in blue is Chris Harris, who was very exciting in his last outing when he came out on a different machine. Louis Kerr off gate 3 in white, and Luke Harrison off yellow off gate number 4. Heat 14 with Bob Anzi, and certainly there's some riders here that can get themselves into the reckoning with a good performance in this one. And as the tapes rise, once again a fast start from Chris Bomber Harris, who gets out of the tapes, leaving everybody in his wake. Louis Kerr picks up the pursuit in second place here. He's holding that inside line. Justin Sedgman's in third in red, the lead with Bomber.
Yeah, Bomber Harris made a great start there, which is quite uncharacteristic for Bomber, but we see a follower there at the back. Luke Harrison, can he get himself up, or the race can be stopped? At the moment it's continuing, brilliant stuff. Bomber Harris, yeah, off out in front. Louis Kerr not letting him get too far away, but Bomber's just riding that right high fast line, and he's managed to keep himself ahead of Louis. Louis just probably settling for that second place, thinking that the 2 points are gonna keep him ticking along nicely.
Into the final lap we go then. Chris Harris has the lead, representing the Glasgow Tigers. Louis Kerr, the former Red Car Bear, certainly keeping the pressure on Bomber here, having one last go at the inside, but Bomber's going to claim it. Chris Harris wins, Louis Kerr second, Justin Sedgman third, and Luke Harrison remounts. He's about to cross the line, but another win there for Chris Harris to keep his charge going, and it's looking good for Bomber all of a sudden after a couple of good rides.
Yeah, it certainly is. That's fantastic from Bomber there to grab the heat win.
Chris Harris with the win in heat 14, Louis Kerr second, Justin Sedgman third, Luke Harrison fourth. Your results of heat number 14.
Who said Bomber can't gate?
Breaking news, folks. He can when he wants to, and very quick he's looking as well out of the traps now on this bike.
Yeah, he was out of the traps and straight to that high line. He knew where Louis Kerr was going to be coming from. Louis had the unfortunate gate 3 there, which he managed to make a relatively decent start from the outside, but Bomber just had too much pace from that opening lap to put pay to Louis' chances, and Bomber just kept it, well, gets a little bit out of shape there, but Bomber will have enjoyed that. And yeah, off he goes. He's going in on the dirt. He's got the maximum speed out of his motorcycle there, and 3 points is what he gained. And as we move on to the next heat, this is going to be another battle. Can Dougie do anything about that horrid gate 3?
Yeah, that last ride moves Chris Harris into the semi-final reckoning at this moment in time. Louis Kerr with those points that keeps him in with a chance of automatically going through to the final as well, as it stands. In this heat then, Leon Flint there we see lining up in red off the inside gates. Leon Flint has had he got 0 in his first ride. He's had a 3 and a 2. He's on 5 points. A win in this one would certainly put him in the reckoning for semi-final contention with 1 ride to go as well. Here is the lineup for heat 15 with MPNG light haulage. Leon Flint in red from the inside gate number 1. Gate 2 in blue, Troy Batchelor. Gate 3 in white is Ryan Douglas. Off the outside in yellow is Richard Lawson. A few of the contenders here, particularly pre-meeting, you would have said Ryan Douglas and Richard Lawson would be there or thereabouts. And indeed, Richard Lawson is there. Again, a rider that with a win in this that could turn his fortunes around quite a lot.
He certainly could, yeah. And even riders like Troy Batchelor, he could pop out the start here and show him what he's still made of. So yeah, Leon Flint coming out of gate 1. He's still got his sights on the latter parts of this meeting as well. Can he make a good start? He's got some tough opposition on the outside of him, but yeah, this is going to be one hell of a race.
Ryan Douglas hasn't won a heat yet. He'll be looking to put that right. He's been very consistent with 3 second places. But let's see what happens here then. Heat number 15. Away we go into that first bend then. It's a good start from Troy Batchelor initially. What's going to happen down the back straight here? Troy Batchelor pulling away from Richard Lawson.
Oh,
we've got a faller there. Ryan
Dougie.
Douglas is down. And I'm not sure if he's going to clear the track or not. Willie Dishington, our referee, puts the red lights on. We're going to have a restart. And that's disaster at this stage of the meeting for Dougie.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Dougie there. That was very unlike him to have done that. He's tore a big hole in his race suit.
Hasn't he just? Wow.
Yes, so he's number
Well,
Not
yeah,
ideal.
unsure what happens with him there. Looks like he's a window cleaner.
Just like he's got a rag. There's David Howe heading out to have a look at the bike, and Dougie there going down, but up and walking back to the pits. Let's have a look again at what happened there in Heat 15. Good start here from Troy Batchelor, best start he's made all night, and then comes Dougie getting himself involved in the action, and but ultimately comes unstuck at the back.
Yeah, he was just out of shot there as he classes into the third turn fence.
Yeah, that didn't really shed much light on the situation for us, did it, that one, to be honest?
It was a good move initially there from Richard Lawson to get himself into that first position. This might be a better angle that we can see it from. Dougie eats a load of roost here from the back of Troy Batchelor's machine. And yeah, he goes in here. I think he just on sort of marbles.
Gives way underneath.
Yeah, it gives way underneath him. The bike kind of aquaplanes, if you will. And yeah, no matter how much throttle you have on, there's nothing you can do about. The bike knows where he wants to go, and you're kind of just a passenger.
Yeah, unfortunate for Ryan Douglas then in heat number 15, coming unstuck there. Currently he is out of the reckoning for the semi-final places, but only by a point. You know, 1 point or 2 points would have made a big difference in that heat, and he's going to miss out on that now. He has one ride left to go, but Ryan Douglas excluded. And there we see Leon Flint. Well, we see Greg Blair, actually, with Leon Flint. Every time I see Greg, he's wearing a different top. He had his BSN gear on a couple of minutes ago, and now he's representing the Bandits. It's like he's going into the phone box to change as required. But, yeah, there is Leon Flint. And we'll be looking forward to another shot at that.
Well, at least they're going to get a point now, aren't they? The riders are going to be making sure their bike lasts the whole of the entire race, and they can pick up at least a third place now that there's only going to be 3 finishers.
Yeah, and Leon Flint just outside the reckoning at the moment. Of course, he's still got 2 rides, including this one, to go. He's currently on 5 points. So at the moment, 7 points gets you into the semi-final as it stands. We've got Ben Cook leading with 11 points from 4 rides. Louis Kerr 9 points from 4 rides. Chris Harris 8 points from 4 rides. And that's your top 3 at this moment in time. And that would be the order as well, with the countback taken into account with that. Danny King is out in the next heat, heat number 16. Of course, he's another rider who has got a ride in hand on those I've just mentioned and could fire himself into the automatic qualification spots, but still, we've got another round of races to go. We've got a bit of a break in proceedings at the moment because the paramedics are attending to someone in the crowd, we understand. And there's a few spots of rain in the air again as well. It's all happening here at the Echo Arena on Teesside. Let's have a look at some of your messages then while we're waiting for a second and see what you're saying. Soyuraki says, I'm watching in Cyprus, where I now live. Come on, the Bears. Graham Porter never understood going on holidays in Speedway season. Well, sometimes it's got to be done. Hyde Road was the best track in the 70s, says Ian Newson. And Michelle Tucker says, watching from pool and cheering on the Pirate boys and Rory, who's a pirate at heart. Of course, yes, he's well respected there. Paramedic, as you can see, returning back to the centre green. So hopefully, whatever the situation was in the crowd has been averted. Notice that the paramedics have their own tea urn on the centre green here for them to help themselves as they go. So great bit of hospitality, and a box of biscuits too. These little things you don't notice sometimes running in the crowd, but very well catered for. Once you're on the centre green, and I've done the announcing here a couple of times, it is like being on an island, because you are on an island, because you're cut off from everything. Sometimes you've got no real way of communicating with various people around the stadium sometimes. It's a long way to get from there to the pits to get yourself a cup of tea. So to have a tea urn on the centre green is a welcome thing.
Well, it just shows that the lengths that the promotion's going to here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here's the lineup then once again. No Ryan Douglas in Heat 15. He's excluded, so it's just 3 riders only. Gate number 1 in red is Leon Flint. Gate 2 in blue, Troy Batchelor. Gate 3 in yellow, Richard Lawson. And at the time the race was stopped, Troy Batchelor and Richard Lawson were having a good little tussle between themselves there. I'm looking to recreate that. Those 2 riders will, but Leon Flint as well will be hoping he can make a better start and get the drop on those riders this time.
Absolutely, and Richard Lawson, having only scored 3 points so far this evening, he'll be looking to add another 3 onto it here to give him any sort of chance of progressing to the later stages. And yeah, he hit the front there just before the red lights come on. Can he do it again? Lego Man Lawson, yeah, he'll be looking to grab 3 points here to move on to 6. But yeah, riders like Leon Flint, even Batch, can Batch make it at the start? I seen him trap there. He didn't look interested for the start of this meeting, but yeah, he seems to have found a gating glove. And what can you do in this one?
We need to discuss Lego Man Lawson again at some other point. Here we go, Heat 15. Oh, a little bit of a nibble there from the rider in blue, Troy Batchelor. The race is allowed to continue though. Willie Dishington seeing that Troy Batchelor hasn't made a particular advantage there, but Richard Lawson is in the lead here in heat number 15. It's Leon Flint in hot pursuit of Richard Lawson. Someone's chain guard has come off, I think, there on the start-finish straight. Richard Lawson, though, flying away out front here. Second place with Leon Flint. Troy Batchelor battling with Leon now.
Great battling ride there from Richard Lawson. Come out, gate 4, just misses his own chain guard as he goes into that first turn there. He's riding the bottom of the fence there, trying to get the most speed out of himself around this racetrack. Leon Flint's around that inside in second place, but Lawson looks like he's going to be going on to grab 3 points here.
Yeah, Troy Batchelor has pulled up at the back, so it's just the 2 riders now battling it out for the points here. Troy Batchelor is going to coast round to collect the solitary points. The win is going to go to Richard Lawson. Second place to Leon Flint, and Troy Batchelor, he hasn't been lapped, so he can keep going round to collect the points. I think he got caught out by that chain guard that was dropped on the track there.
Yeah,
and,
I think he did.
I'm not sure if it's his chain guard.
No, it's Lawson's. He's
yeah.
going back to go and get that one. He's
And there we go, we get the point, and that's that. But it seemed to certainly spook Troy Batchelor, who shut off the gas there as soon as he saw it, and just coasted around for the point. So heat 15, Richard Lawson gets the 3 points, Leon Flint second, Troy Batchelor third, and 0 for Ryan Douglas, who is excluded from the first running of the race.
Well needed there from Richard Lawson, that 3 points, as the 2 was for Leon Flint. Here we see the start again. It's the rider in yellow coming out of gate 4, Richard Lawson. The bike drives really well there, even coming across that slick surface, getting himself to that first turn first. And yeah, Leon looks to put him under a bit of pressure here, going to the third turn, and Richard Lawson shuts the door on him, goes from the inside to out to maximise the speed out of his machine, not to make any slide and scrub any speed off. We see the chain guard had vacated itself from Richard Lawson's bike there. At that point, I don't know whether Batchelor would have seen that, but he seems uninterested in racing the rest of this race. and then he just go around to get 3 points. You know the referees, they might have excluded him there for not trying, but yeah, he manages to get the point in that one. But no, we move on to heat number 16, and that man Charlie Wright, he's desperate for points coming out of gate 1.
Yeah, you've got two riders who are currently in the semi-final zone in the top 6, and Charles Wright could get in there depending on what happens. He needs at least 2 points from this to get himself up to 7. Here's the lineup though. The inside gate in red is Charles Wright of the Red Car Bears. Richie Worrell from gate number 2 in blue. Kai Thompson in white from gate 3. And off the outside in yellow is Danny King. And Richie Worrell and Danny King, the riders currently occupying those semi-final places. Danny King could equal Ben Cook's score and get himself joint in the lead on the night with a win in this race. Richie Worrell can get himself onto 10 points, and that would put him in the automatic places as well for the grand final as it stands, with one ride to go. So certainly there's a lot to be gained here, with Charles Wright getting himself in the mix and the other two possibly getting themselves right to the top. Here we go, heat 16. And away they go then into the first bend. It's a good start from Charles Wright. His teammate Danny King is throwing the bike down the back straight. He's going to get past Richie Worrell first though, and he does that up the inside of Richie Worrell, who cops a load of roost there off the back wheel of Danny King. Danny King and Charles Wright, the Red Car Bears teammates now, are racing each other for the points in heat 16.
Very determined ride there from Kingy to get himself into second place. He's battling hard away with Richie Worrell. And Richie, oh, he's almost past him, but Danny holds on the outside. Can he get the speed off the turn? Yes, he has. Richie's not going to give up the fight. Charles Wright out in front. He's already riding his favourite high line, and he's clearing off out in front. It's all about that battle for the second place.
Yeah, the track is definitely coming to Charles Wright at this stage now, blasting round the boards there as he likes. The battle for second is still on though. Richie Worrell trying to keep the pressure on Danny King, but Danny King claims second place. Richie Worrell has to settle for third, but an important win there for Charles Wright at this stage of the meeting now, moving him on to 8 points, and that puts him firmly in the mix for the semis at this moment with one ride to go.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's took him to his 4th ride to win a heat, especially around his home track, but nevertheless, he's done it. And yeah, a very important one there to beat the challenges of Danny King and Richie Worrell.
Okay, there is the results of the heat then, and the win for Charles Wright. Danny King second, Richie Worrell third, and Kai Thompson fourth. Heat 16 with Cab Direct. And what that does to the leaderboards, we'll have a look in a moment, but I can tell you that Danny King gets himself back into the automatic position for qualification for the final as it stands, with that one ride to go. But here's a look back at the start, and all going on in this first lap once again, with Charles Wright getting himself out there. The battle between Danny King and Richie Worrell.
Yeah, I tell you what, Danny King has something to think about there on that going into that first turn. He was already looking across to see where the guys were, maybe looking to make a cutback, but both riders ran up, and Danny, he still opted to go in that high wide line of the dirt, slingshot himself down the straight, and managed to get just ahead of Richie Worrell going into the third turn, and that's where Danny stayed. But Charles Wright, that's his favourite position around this racetrack, high and wide up in the fence, and once he gets there, very rarely is he caught or passed from that position, and this race was no exception to that. Richie Worrell does put Danny under some pressure during this race and gets alongside him at some points, but Danny holds fair and hangs on to that second place to grab himself another 2 points. But yeah, well needed heat win there for the 3 points for Charlie Wright to move him on to 8 for this evening. Good battle there from the guys, close racing, and yeah, this is going to be an exciting end to the last 4 races of this meeting to see who's going to progress to the semi-final and final.
Yeah, we've got a big heat coming up. The next one, heat number 17, is going to be fairly tasty. Louis Kerr and Danny King, along with Rory Schlein in that one. So we've got that to look forward to, and it's all going to be settled in the next set of heats, because we've all got one ride left to go. And Ben Cook, Danny King leading the way at the moment. And in the semi-final spots, it's Louis Kerr, Chris Harris, Richie Worrell and Charles Wright. Everybody else chasing them at this moment in time. But what a last couple of rides for Chris Harris. 2 wins back-to-back, fired him onto 8 points, and Chris Harris is with Hayley Bromley in the BSM booth.
Richie Worrell and Charles Wright.
Yes, he is. Thanks, Ian. Chris Harris, fantastic night for you so far. Ian's just said in comms there, back-to-back wins in your last 2 races. That change of bike really has been working wonders.
Yeah, I needed it. The first 2 I wasn't quite on the pace. The bike felt a bit on the lazy side, so yeah, swap bikes and yeah, felt like I'll get more speed now. So hopefully that could be my night and keep it going.
And you wish you'd changed bikes earlier?
Yeah, well, I quite got on another bike, but yeah, these things happen.
They do indeed, absolutely. And so far, so good. I mean, Ian said 8 points, but from my tally, I make it 9 so far. So definitely in with a shout at the last chance quali, if not the final.
Yeah, they said 9 on the tally, so we'll go with that one.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Ideally, I like to get straight for that final, but if we have to go through the semi, we'll go that way. I normally make it hard for myself, so we'll just take the next race how it comes and we'll see how it goes.
You've been having a brilliant season so far, both in Championship and Premiership level, and leading the world in the long track series as well.
Yeah, it's going okay. Obviously, always want more, always want to improve, but no, I've got to be sort of happy with it, so room for improvements in places, but yeah, on a whole, it's been pretty good.
It certainly has, and looking forward to the end of season now. I mean, Glasgow Tigers doing pretty well. You just recently moved back over to the Peterborough Panthers in the Premiership, so some big meetings still to come for you guys.
Yeah, Glasgow's going great. You know, I wanted to go back there this year to put things right from the last time I was there. I didn't perform as I should, and I think I've proven my point now that I can hold my own at number 1 there. And yeah, no, but it's great atmosphere in the team. And yeah, and Peterborough obviously was a bit of a switch not long ago, but it is what it is. But we got some big meetings left, and hopefully we can finish on a high for them.
I've got to obviously touch on the fact that they've just made a massive signing, Artem Laguta joining you guys at the Panthers in the next batch of races. That's got to be exciting to be racing with the 2021 World Champion.
It is, you know, I was shocked actually when I got the team news come through on our group chat. So yeah, it's great to obviously be in the team with him. So yeah, it can only benefit us, and say we've got a knockout cup tomorrow with Ipswich, and we've got a few points to pull back, so hopefully having him in can help us.
Well, Chris, best of luck for the rest of the season. Best of luck today. Hopefully we'll see you a bit later on
hopefully.
In the final.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Chris Harris there. Still plenty more racing to come here at the Echo Arena. Track work ongoing. That rain has stopped, thankfully, so no more brollies up, at least for now. It's brightening up as well, and I'm always the optimist when it comes to the weather. So heat number 17 coming your way, and as Ian's already told you, it's a big one with Louis Kerr, Danny King, Ryan Douglas and Rory Schlein. Dougie looking like none the worse for wear after that tumble in his last outing, so hopefully he'll be back on form and battling it out. It is the last batch of races. I need to stop using that word because Bachelor's still not out in this next one, but 4 races for each rider now gone. 5 of them in total for every rider. They're on their final race each going into the next 4 races. The top 2, don't forget, go into the grand final with 3rd through 6th inclusive. Will be contesting the last chance qualifier, the top 2 of which will go in to the grand final to contest for today's championship riders individual crown. We will have a new champion because Sam Masters unfortunately not able to be here to defend his title. Looking forward to it. Ian, Adam, back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And there's Louis Kerr, who'll be looking to maintain how his night's gone so far. He can actually get himself into the automatic positions. He's on 9 points so far. 11 leads the way with Ben Cook. Danny King currently 2nd place on 10 points. As it stands, they would go directly through to the final, and then heading to the semi-final will be Chris Harris, who is on 9. I got Richard Lawson and Chris Harris mixed up. Easy mistake to make. We've got Louis Kerr also on 9, Richie Worrell on 8, and Charles Wright on 8. But Charles Wright's fortunes have been improving as he's gone. He started off with 1 point, had 2 2nd places, and finally get himself a win in his last outing. Charles Wright will be out in heat number 18, up against Justin Sedgman, Paco Castagna, and Leon Flint. So that's certainly going to be one to watch there. Charles Wright could easily come up on the rails there, Adam.
He certainly could. It's riders there, Richard Lawson, Ryan Douglas, they might find it hard to, even if they get a win in their final ride, might it be enough for them to be in a semi-final position to stand any chances of progressing in this one? But yeah, it's been a great meeting so far.
Richard Lawson, I don't want to say is an easy heat in any way, but he's going to be in heat number 20 up against Jake Allen and Kai Thompson and one of the track reserves, because Craig Cook was due to be in it. You know, with the best will, he's probably the favourite for that heat in that company. But you never know.
Will 9 points be enough though?
9 points would probably potentially get him into the semis.
Should be, shouldn't it?
Should just about. But we'll see. There's the gate stats. Not a good night for gate 3. Not a lot to show for it at all. At least it's a round number.
But it's gate 1 that's come good.
Yeah, it has moved on the inside, hasn't it?
It's moved off the inside. It's riders that are able to hold the track position. I know a lot of riders are sending it high and wide into the dirt to get the speed, but it's whoever gets there first. And obviously the inside line is the shortest distance to get to that outside line. You wouldn't think that because you think you'd be straight on the outside line, but not always the case. But yeah, we're getting shown how this racetrack certainly does develop and is very capable of having some great racing, and I think it's only going to get better as these riders start to really sort of make every point vital as in these latter parts of this meeting. And there's more and more track work going on. They like to do sort of like the donuts in the corners to drag all the dirt that's been on the outside to the inside, which allows the riders on the inside at least some chance of grip from their back wheels to allow a little bit of material to be there from the back tyres. So yeah, there is a lot of track grading that does go on here at Redcar, but it's definitely worth it for the racing that it produces.
There's a view of the pits here at Redcar. Quite a muddy evening, as you can tell, with the dirt that's around there. It was muddy to start with, but it's even more so now. And there's Louis Kerr, who's got a big heat ahead in his next outing, off gate number 2, with Rory Schlein, Danny King and Ryan Douglas. And that's going to be quite fierce. Ryan Douglas definitely needs the points. Really, he needs a win in his next outing now, having been excluded for falling off and causing the stoppage of his last outing in heat number 15. And there is Dougie surveying the track. Danny King also keeping an eye on what's going on here as they prepare to head back out. Danny King in a good position at this stage, 2nd place so far, and a couple of wins, couple of 2nd places.
He is in a good position, but he's coming out of gate 3 again, and with the opposition he's up against, I only think one benefit factor that he's had is he's come out of gate 3 already this evening, so he managed to score points out of it then. And what can you do about it as he aims to come out of it a 2nd time?
That's the job, isn't it? Shale shifter.
Shale shifter, there.
There he is, cleaning the tops. The shale certainly does come over the tops of the fence here. There's a little sort of standing area in the pits that the riders stand on, and first time I came here to do some media stuff. So you can just stand there. So I stood there, and it was a track pretty similar to today, but in fact a bit heavier. There'd been a big rainstorm beforehand, and
let me guess, you got covered.
Covered.
Absolutely
covered. I looked like the mudman emerging from the forest when I went back to my car.
The only time I'll stand there is if I've got Kevlars on. I'll never ever stand there any other time.
I looked round and all the riders stood there, they've got the goggles on and watching it. I thought, right, that's the small detail I was not afforded. So stand there at your peril.
You're usually in a nice warm box, or
somewhere
or
luxurious.
Booth. Yeah. Get to witness it.
I thought, this will be quite good. Lasted about 1 lap.
It's all right when you're behind these bikes and the back wheels are flinging up the dirt, but you're kind of protected. You've got the goggles on, you've got the helmets, you've got the gloves. But when you're stood just in your casuals, it hurts.
It hurts, and it takes a bit of washing out sometimes as well. Right, Louis Kerr getting ready to come out. The tracks are coming off the track and into the the tractors are coming off the track and into the pits again now as we're about to get underway. Let's head over to the BSM booth quickly. Leon Flint is with Hayley Bromley in the BSM booth right now.
He is indeed. I'm going to have a quick word with Leon because the tractors have just gone in. Leon, a pretty interesting night so far here at the Echo Arena. What do you think the last batch of races are going to have in store for us?
Yeah, it should be good. I don't really know what the standings are, but yeah, I'll just keep chipping away. First one was off pretty terrible gate, but managed to find a decent setup and have some fun.
Absolutely. I mean, you did say in your program column notes today that you weren't putting any pressure on yourself and you wanted to just come here and have fun racing your bike. Looks like you're doing that so far.
Yeah, that's all it's about. Like I say, I'm obviously going for it, but this last race, I think I need a good result to try and get in the semi, so that's what we're going to aim for.
Oh, well, so it's kind of brief that, Liam, but thanks for your thoughts, because heat number 17 is coming your way right now, folks, so I'll give you back to Ian and Adam.
Yeah, cheers, Hayley. Good to hear from Leon. There's his teammates at the Berwick Bandits. Rory Schlein out in heat number 17, and here's your lineup with the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund. srbf.co.uk, the place to go to donate and support the work of the Speed Riders Benevolent Fund and the riders who find themselves coming to grief as well through the course of the season. Of course, long after their careers have finished sometimes. Rory Schlein knows about it full well, off gate number 1 in red. Louis Kerr off gate 2 in blue. Off white, gate 3 in white is Danny King. And in yellow from gate number 4 is Ryan Douglas. Heat number 17. It's all to ride for. Important heat for all of these riders, really, with Rory Schlein and Ryan Douglas just on the fringes of the semi-finals at the moment. Danny King and Louis Kerr firmly in the mix for the latter part of the meeting. Here we go then. Heat number 17 is underway. It's a good start from Louis Kerr, but it's going to be a close one down the back straight. Here comes Rory Schlein now into the lead. Louis Kerr going deep up this banking on the 3rd and 4th bend, emerging down this home straight after the first lap. Rory Schlein has the lead, only just. Danny King in the mix as well here. What a race we've got on our hands. 3 abreast into the 3rd and 4th turn with Danny King trying to get up the inside. The lead now moves to Rory Schlein and
Ryan Douglas. Ryan Douglas is out in front. What a opening 2 laps that was. They throw a blanket of all the 4 riders there. The race is starting to settle down a little bit now with Dougie coming from that gatefold position. He's maintained, he's worked at it, and he's off out in front. Danny King out of that gate 3 position. Took him a couple of laps around that inside, but he's in 2nd place. It's Louis Kerr that's in 3rd with Rory Schlein at the back.
This is a very big win for Ryan Douglas in heat number 17. He needed the 3 points. He's got the 3 points to continue his evening in the right direction. He's going to have to wait and see if that's going to be enough to get him through to the next part of the meeting or not, but boy, did he need a win there.
What a battle, what a close race that was. That was superb from Dougie to pick up the win.
Ryan Douglas claims the win then. Danny King 2nd, Louis Kerr 3rd, and Rory Schlein 4th. I think the lead was shared by, I think, everybody at some point there.
I can't wait to see this one back. What a race this was.
Okay, here we go then. And into the first bend. It's Louis Kerr in the lead. Just about. Emerging down the back straight. Rory Schlein takes 1st place. Back comes Louis Kerr. Dougie's at the back at this moment. He comes through.
4 abreast.
4 abreast. Rory Schlein in the lead again. Danny King briefly gets himself in the lead. And then here comes Ryan Douglas. All 4 riders led the heat.
What a battle. Yeah, it was Dougie that just managed to come out on top in that one, but yeah, hell of a 2 laps that was. King, after the track grade, just opts to go around that inside, use that short distance around the track, and it puts pay. Louis Kerr, who was leading that race, finds himself in 3rd. And Rory Schlein also, he led that race, he found himself at the back. Wow, what a heat that was for heat number 17.
Yeah, fantastic race there. As we move on now to heat number 18, Ryan Douglas moves on to 9 points overall. He's going to have to wait and see if that's going to be enough. Might be a bit, might not be, actually. Looking at the heats to come, this one could have a big say in it as well, with Charles Wright off the inside gate in red in heat number 18 with Global Offshore Logistics. Justin Sedgman in blue from gate number 2, Paco Castagna in white from gate 3, and Leon Flint in yellow from that outside gate number 4. Leon Flint on 7 points at the moment, Charles Wright on 8, and Justin Sedgman probably he's going to miss out now, so it's night's over really effectively for Justin Sedgman, I think, and for Paco Castagna. So for them, it's all about personal pride. But for Charles Wright and Leon Flint, this is an important one. Away they go then into that first turn. It is a good start from Justin Sedgman here, and that's forcing Leon Flint wide. He gets filled in, drops to the back. Charles Wright comes through. The Red Car Bears captain on his home track. He's coming good at the right time, you fancy, in this meeting now. Charles Wright getting himself into the lead. He's under a lot of pressure here from Justin Sedgman though, but Charles Wright out front at the moment in heat number 18.
Yeah, Charles Wright means business around his home track here, and he's showing the rest of the guys that he certainly knows the fastest way. Justin Sedgman's in 2nd, he's keeping him honest. Meanwhile, Paco Castagna's there in 3rd. tough look there for Leon Flynn on that opening corner. He got well and truly roosted, exiting that second bend and put pace to his chances, but it is Charlie Wright out in front.
Charles Wright, red car captain, out in the lead, and he's needed the points. 2 back-to-back wins incoming here at the Echo Arena on his home track. Charles Wright claims the win. Justin Sedgman comes in second. Paco Castagna third. Leon Flint's got himself all filled in, really, in the early part of that heat. But that is an important win for Charles Wright. And as I say, coming good when it matters. Charles Wright with the 3 points. Justin Sedgman second. Paco Castagna third. Leon Flint fourth. And we're seeing it coming to life now. And we can see what that does with Charles Wright now moving very much into the semi-final qualification positions. And Louis Kerr in there, Ryan Douglas in there at the moment, just. But there's another couple of heats to go yet with the other riders that can come in and knock him out. Here is the start again.
He didn't have it all his own way from the start, did he? It was Justin Sedgman out of gate 2 that manages to make a better start. There we see Leon Flynn, he tries to go right high and wide like he did in a previous heat from gate 4 and create the speed and go past the guys around the outside, but wasn't able to do it this time. Charlie Wright just shows that his track craft here. Even though Justin Sedgman had made the start, he used that inside line to his effect to pass Sedgy up the back straight, and away he went on for the win. Sedgman did keep him honest for a couple of laps or so, but Charlie just manages, you see his bike, he's just driving there. As soon as it touches that bit of dirt, it's wanting to go forward at any given point. So yeah, he's riding, using all parts of this track also, and yeah, getting the best out of his machine to grab himself the 3 points. It's definitely changed his fortunes around from how his night started.
Yeah, and there's Chris Harris, who is currently in the semi-final qualification berths, but with 3 points here, he could get himself into the automatic qualification at this stage. Ben Cook has a ride to go, which he takes now as well. So this is really important, actually, in the scheme of things. Here's the lineup. Troy Batchelor off gate number 1 in red, Ben Cook off gate 2 in blue, Chris Harris in white from gate 3, Richie Worrell in yellow from gate 4, and it's heat number 19 with Pobanzi. This is the state of play. Richie Worrell needs 1 point, which would, at this moment at least, give him a chance of overhauling Ryan Douglas. 2 points, and he's definitely going to get himself into the semi-final berths, is Richie Worrell, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
We think that Richie Worrell would knock Ryan Douglas out on countback as well.
Yeah, because he hasn't had an exclusion, so
yeah.
He's had his points scored in each of his rides.
He's also had 2 wins so far as Richie through the course of the meeting as well, which is something Ryan Douglas has only had 1 win. Ben Cook is currently in second place, so 1 point from him will draw him level with Danny King. Anything more than that will put him top. And who else have we got involved in this one? Troy Batchelor, who's way down, so he's got nothing left to race for. Chris Harris can certainly cement his place. Chris Harris could go into the automatic space as well. Whoa, that was a handy gate from Troy Batchelor there, and it seems to have been let go. Away he goes. Troy Batchelor is in the lead here so far in heat number 19. Here comes Chris Bomber Harris, though, into the mix, going round the outside. Chris Harris hits the front here in heat number 19. Troy Batchelor in second. Ben Cook is battling with Troy Batchelor there, and Richie Worrell at the moment is missing out, is in fourth.
He's at fourth, and yeah, that's going to say goodbye to Richie's chances. Ben Cook just moves past Troy Batchelor there and gets himself into second. Bomber Harris going on for his third heat win of the night here with he's stretching it out in front. He's going so wide there. He's just, the wheels bask him in the fence, but he managed to hold control of his machine and still hang on to the lead. Ben Cook's in second.
Is it going to be Bomber's night tonight? He's starting to come good right at the crucial moment here. Chris Harris comes down and takes the checkered flag. Ben Cook in second. Troy Batchelor third, and that is the end of Richie Worrell's night, I think. And that is our first winner off gate number 3 as well.
That's more impressive, and from Chris Harris as well.
And from Bomber.
Yeah, we saw that he didn't make a good gate out of gate 3. It certainly wasn't tips of flag victory, but yeah, he worked hard at that, and there we see the result, Ian.
Yeah, there it is from Chris Harris with the win. Ben Cook second, Troy Batchelor third, Richie Worrell fourth, as heat number 19 comes to an end. And that's certainly done Chris Harris no harm whatsoever. Ben Cook consolidates his charge as well. We'll have a look at the leaderboard in a moment, but let's have a look back at the start again.
I thought Batchelor, he reacted perfect. Yeah, Willie Dishington, the referee, did the right thing there to allow the race to continue. He looked like he made a better start than everyone else, which he had. He hadn't jumped it, he hadn't moved or anything, so that was just fantastic reactions and bike drive from Troy Batchelor there. That allows Chris Harris, coming from gate 3, to just stick his wheels in the dirt before Batch did and rail himself around the outside, and into first place he goes. Ben Cook here, he's starting to work the outside also. Batch is kind of caught on that inside line, and Cookie, he just works it. He knows if he hangs out there long enough, he's going to create the speed during the race. And yeah, just going into the third lap there, that was where Cookie had made his pass. It was too late to do anything about the speed of Bomber out in front, but it was a well raced 2 points there from Ben Cook. And yeah, it's been a handy ride here tonight.
Okay, so this is the situation in this heat, and we just saw Richard Lawson there. He has a lot to ride for in heat number 20. He needs to win it, and if he wins it, he'll knock Ryan Douglas out on countback. Ben Cook leading the way. Chris Harris is in second place, and all the other riders beneath them have ridden their heats. So it's Ben Cook and Chris Harris going through to the final, definitely. Danny King, Charles Wright, Louis Kerr, Ryan Douglas currently in the semi-final spots. But as I say, Richard Lawson can gate crash the party here with a win. He needs the 3 points. Richard Lawson in red from gate number 1. Jake Allen in blue from gate number 2. Sam McGurk in white from gate 3. And Kai Thompson in yellow from gate number 4. Heat 20 with the Speedway star. It's all or nothing for Richard Lawson.
Certainly is. All or nothing for Richards coming out of gate 1. Could be favourable for him. Let's see how he gets on. Heat number 20.
As the tapes rise then into that first turn, and it is Richard Lawson who's first there. Under a little bit of pressure, Kai Thompson taking it to him. Jake Allen rears up a little bit there. We know Jake Allen has got some speed in that bike though. He's going deep into the dirt, and he's certainly putting pressure on Richard Lawson here, but he holds the lead at the moment. Richard Lawson must win this heat.
Yeah, he must win this heat, and he's doing everything he can about his wheels. He's bouncing off the fence going into the corners. He's trying to create as much traction for that back wheel as possible. There's a bit of a battle now going on between Kai Thompson and Jake Allen for that second position. That's kind of leaving Richard Lawson to his own devices out in front, and he's going to steal on for the win and get them 3 points that he's just well needed. Can he hang on to it for this final lap?
Richard Lawson then into the final lap of heat number 20. It's going to be a late arrival to the party for him, but he's going to gate crash it at the expense of Ryan Douglas. Down to the finish line. Richard Lawson takes a vital win in heat 20, and that knocks out Ryan Douglas and hence his hopes tonight. Richard Lawson though, he's going to have a crack at the semi-final. Talk about arriving when needed.
Exactly, 2 wins in your last 2 rides. Yeah, that's what you need to do, and he's done it.
There is the result then, heat 20. Richard Lawson with the win, Jake Allen second, Kai Thompson third, Sam McGurk fourth, and Richard Lawson there goes through to the semi-final on 9 points, but knocking Ryan Douglas out on countback. There's the confirmation of how things have finished after the 20 heats here at the Echo Arena on Seaside in the Championship League Riders Championship. Now it's all to ride for. Ben Cook and Chris Harris are through to the grand final. Danny King, Charles Wright, Louis Kerr and Richard Lawson will contest the semi-final. So it's the end of the night for Ryan Douglas and Richie Worrell, and Leon Flint and Rory Schlein and Justin Sedgman have been there or thereabouts throughout. Let's have a look back at the start here. It was really from the gate from Richard Lawson, wasn't it, this time?
Yeah, it was. Jake Allen having a bit of track knowledge around this circuit also, sends it wide into that outside line, but just lifts coming off the second turn there, just kills a little bit of speed in his machine. He still tries his hardest to get back around the inside of Lawson there, but quickly changes to go back to the inside. Scrubs a little bit too much speed off there, allows Lawson to get a little bit away coming out of that second turn. Still puts the pressure on in turn. it was Kai Thompson that starts to put Jake under pressure also, and they have a good little battle between themselves, but Lawson, he needed the 3 points there, and he delivered, so yeah, he gets himself into that semi-final. Can he continue this good run of form in this meeting at this stage on? Will he get himself to the final, Ian?
Well, it's all to ride for now, isn't it? Danny King and Charles Wright, Louis Kerr, Richard Lawson. I mean, 3 former Redcar riders in that mix, and Richard Lawson, who at times has ridden for Redcar when he's been covering for Eric Riss earlier in the season, and no stranger to it. So it's going to be close. Then Ben Cook and Bomber in the final as well. Could it be Bomber's night?
Yeah, well, the semi-final could be a final, couldn't it? It's well, see the one.
There's the gate stats, and the one off gate 3 was Bomber.
Who didn't actually make the start. He just bombed everyone.
Yeah, just did what he does. Okay, so those are the gate stats. We'll be back with the semi-final in a moment. Some track grading going on right now. Let's head over to the pits, the BSM booth, and speak to the Italian stallion. Here he comes, Paco Castagna with Hayley Bromley.
Yes, indeed. Paco, what a tough night for yourself at 4 points from 5 rides, but a late entry into this competition. It was never going to be easy, was it?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I got the call. I was actually coming here with Kai to help him out as a mechanic, and then I received the call on the way here and say, since you got bikes, why don't you do it? So I said, well, we are here, so let's give it a try. Obviously, you know, it's them kind of meetings. I've never been part of it, but it's always like, it's like doing heat 13 and 15 every race, and since I'm number 4, I never really do it, so it's a bit tough. But you know, track was tough at the start of the meeting, and I struggled with setup, and then I kind of made some changes and was better at the end. But obviously, you know, it's tough. I kind of wanted to do more points, but you know, it is what it is, and you know, learn from it.
Definitely, and it's interesting that you said that. I mean, if you were only coming up as a mechanic, how come you had all of your equipment with you? Is it just because you were hoping to have a bit of a skid afterwards?
Nah, I was getting ready with Kai because we were racing at Plymouth on Tuesday, so we had everything ready, you know, to go there together. So yeah, it was good. It was good. So you know, again, we learn from here, and hopefully, you know, I want to watch the meeting back because I know I made lots of mistakes with the setup that obviously then didn't help me a lot in the track. But you know, I made some good stuff as well. So gotta learn from it.
Is that something that you do frequently then, especially when your meetings are televised? Do you like watching yourself back to see what you were doing?
Yeah, I kind of do. You know, you always have to learn from your mistakes, and watching the meetings back always helps. So you know, when I've got time, I try to do that. But you know, once you're in the meeting, you know, you think of some stuff, and then you watch it on TV, and it's completely different. So. No, it was good to be part, obviously, but yeah, kind of want a bit more.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully we've not seen the last of you in this competition. Paco, it's always a pleasure to have a chat with you. I'll let you get back in the pits, get yourself packed up.
Thank you, and enjoy.
Ready for the next time. Lovely jubbly. Thank you. You're very welcome. Oh, Paco Castagna there. Not quite his night, but plenty of opportunity for him in future years, I'm sure, to have another go at the Championship Riders individual. Still awaiting news on the gate positions for the last chance qualifier. Don't forget the top 2 of which from that go through to the grand final to contest for this year's trophy. So I'll hand back to Ian and Adam to see if they've got an update for you on where that's up to.
Yeah, well, the lineup for the semi-finals about to be announced, and we're just hearing now that off gate number 1, Danny King off the inside gate. And gate number 2 will go to Charles Wright. So it's Danny King and Charles Wright side by side, 2 Redcar riders, of course, battling it out there, elbows to the ready. Gate number 3 in white will be Richard Lawson, and off the outside in yellow will be Louis Kerr. That's your lineup for the semi-final. What do you think of that then? Danny King and Charles Wright off the inside, Louis Kerr on the outside bomb. That's kind of like where he'd like it, you think. He's sort of done a few moves, hasn't he? Cutting everybody off, getting his bike angle to that inside curb.
Yes, but then you put Richard Lawson, who can beat the best at the start. So coming out of gate 3, which has only seen the 1 heat winner from tonight's action, he could very easily, especially after this track grade, make it out of gate 3 and be a bit of a spoiler, come into the party late and get himself into the final. Can he do it for his Pool Pirates team?
Well, he certainly can do it, and he has come late to the party. last heat.
Usually arrives late to a meeting
Well,
every time, to be fair.
He was the last to arrive, it's true. But yes, can he arrive to the final late, but also just in time as well? We will find out in the next few moments or so. And then, of course, we'll have the grand final, which we know is going to feature Chris Harris and Ben Cook for definite. So there's lots to look forward to here at the Echo Arena. And thanks for joining us this evening. There is Danny King just having a look at the situation as far as the track is concerned at this moment in time, and seeing what he can see from the track grading and everything else that's going on at the minute. Just trying to keep an eye. I suppose you are always trying to keep an eye on that, aren't you, Adam? The you know, what the tractors are doing and everything?
Yeah, you've kind of got your bike set up. If you haven't got it set up by this stage of the meeting, then you're already dead and buried. But yeah, they're just having a look. There's Danny King with former rider Stuart Swales. He used to be a red car rider back in 2007 when he came had a brief comeback. Or was it 2007 or 2009? I can't remember. Either way, legend of a man. Helped me out loads last year around this racetrack, and he's a great guy, and he's a Stuart Swales, he's a superb guy to have in the red cars team pits. So Danny King's been well looked after in his pit corner tonight. They see Charlie Wright. He's also coming late to the party, hasn't he? He's picked up them final couple of wins in his last few rides to grab himself the points to get him into the semi-final position. Because it looked a bit worrying, didn't it, with a third and a second early on, as but he's turned his night around.
Well, certainly Richard Lawson and Charles Wright are both, back-to-back heat wins there, whereas Danny King and Louis Kerr kind of did their hard work early doors. The other two there, including Richard Lawson, came to it right at the end, right when required, but now heading down to the final, and there they'll meet Ben Cook, who's been strong all night, to be fair to Ben Cook, hasn't he? Chris Harris had a bit of a tricky start, but then changed his bike and is unbeaten since then.
He has been, and Bomber, he knows what it's all about to win these big events. As we're about to head to Cardiff very soon, he famously won that, didn't he? So yeah, Bomber especially knows what it's like to win the big races. This man here, Richard Lawson, can he follow his Pirates teammate into the final by getting the first or second here? He's going to have his work out though, because he's up against stiff opposition.
Absolutely. Well, we're about to get underway. The riders coming down to the tapes now as we get ready for the semi-final in the 2023 Championship League Riders Championship, to find out who will be joining Ben Cook and Chris Harris in the grand final here very, very soon to take that title of being the Championship League Riders Champion of 2023. Somebody's going to win it. We know the final 6, and we're going to whittle that down further. And the riders now down at the tapes for your semi-final. Here it is with Grant Henderson tankers. And the lineup is 2 red car bears off the inside gates. Danny King in red from gate number 1. Gate 2 in blue is Charles Wright. Richard Lawson off gate 3 in white. And Louis Kerr off the outside in yellow. The semi-final. The top 2 riders go straight through to the final to join Ben Cook and Chris Harris. And of course, a good red car representation in this semi with Danny King and Charles Wright, current red car riders. Louis Kerr, a red car rider last year and a little bit of the year before. Louis Kerr there won back-to-back Teesside silver helmet titles here, which is an individual event that they have at the end of the season traditionally, and not usually a bad field either. Maybe not quite as strong as tonight's, but usually not far off. And if you're in the area at the end of the season, you want one big meeting to come to, I would always recommend considering that one. It's always a great meeting. And Richard Lawson has ridden for Redcar as a guest for Eric Riss earlier in the season, and for numerous other teams, including as recently as Birmingham last week, I think it was, wasn't it? So a lot of experience around here. Gate 3, statistically, has not been the best. Only 1 win, and that came from Chris Harris right a few heats ago. But here we go. It's all about finishing first or second in the semi-final. Away they go then into that first turn. It's a good start there from Danny King in red. Oh, we've got a rider down. We've got 3 riders potentially down. Oh, an awkward fall for Richard Lawson.
Wow, there's a
Whoa.
bit of a sandwich filling there. That was the coming together. Charles Wright, from what I'd just seen, he made a bit of an overslide, and the guys behind him ran into him, and Richard Lawson had nowhere to go, and yeah, he was sent sprawling down the track. Hopefully he's okay. He
Yeah.
looks like he's holding his knee a touch there. That was a very awkward spill.
I don't think you saw that. We saw it from a different angle, but that was quite awkward for Richard Lawson, cartwheeling down the back straight a little bit. Louis Curry's back up and on his bike and heading back to the pits. But yeah, I think Richard Lawson certainly the rider who fell the most awkwardly there. All four are invited back though.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, the guy who's... Oh, man.
Oh, Colin.
Good job you didn't do it on BSN. Oh.
He should be used to pushing bikes off. He offers them mechanics for riders, so hope you're all right there, Colin. He's a good photographer, you see. So
is that Colin the photographer?
That's Colin, yeah.
All right, okay. Good stuff, Colin. We'll save that for the highlights reel for the end of the season. In the meantime, we just hope Richard Lawson's all right to take his place back in the rerun there, because that looked a little bit awkward, but very tight into that first bend. Danny King made a good start, but then it all sort of went a little bit wrong there.
He did go a little bit wrong. It'd be interesting to see that back if we can do that once we know that Richard Lawson's all okay. He just went off camera. It was Richard Lawson. His bike lifted and he tried to get off it, but he also tried to save it at the same time.
Didn't his own bike hit him, I think?
I think he pirouetted and span around, and yeah, it was an awkward looking one. And they're sometimes, well, every time they're the most ones that can cause the most damage. The awkward ones. We see Chris Harris out there. He's always out there to support the riders that are on the deck, because he's never really on the deck, to be fair. He's the one getting run over and then runs back to the pits, then heroically comes out and wins the race. So yeah, obviously Danny King with his fresh hairdo.
Don't often see Danny King without a hat.
No, but he told me the other day that's how he's going now.
Is he?
He's done.
Okay.
He's done with hair.
Done with Styles.
Yeah, he looks like his head's on upside down, doesn't it, really? But he made a good start there, Danny, hadn't he? He got himself out of mischief. But
we're going to have a look back at the replay. It's an angle that doesn't feature what happened to Richard Lawson, so we can see what happened with Louis.
I think it was the reason this all been caused. I think it's Charles Wright. He overslid. And I think it was Louis Kerr then that had really nowhere to go, and he clattered into the side of him. Here we see it again. Danny King makes a brilliant start. Elects to hold it tight around the inside. It's Richard Lawson's a bit untied on the inside. Yeah. All three riders all went for the same part of the track. That was unfortunate. Louis couldn't do anything about that. Charlie was kind of coming back across his line, whilst they're all vying for position and trying to get themselves into a better racing position. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, it was rather. Work continues with Richard Lawson, who's still down on the track at this moment in time. But it looks like there is some concern for Richard Lawson. Roy Clark, who's the announcer, Centre Green announcer, they're talking about cutting socks off. So that doesn't sound like a good idea, does it? Good news.
No, it doesn't really. No, when talking from experience, Ian, when they're usually cutting something off, if something is damaged.
Yes.
But hopefully they're just taking it off to have a look.
Yeah.
Maybe, so we'll hope for that for
Obviously, it's
Richard.
not easy to take off, otherwise you just take it off. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that then. Looks like we could have a delay here. I've got to say the skies around here are looking increasingly dark as well. But obviously, first concern is with Richard Lawson, and for him to get the treatment he needs. And he is sitting up, that we can see now there.
Yeah, it's going to be a patient wait for that man we just seen on camera there, Ben Cook, as he waits for the final. As Chris Harris coming back with Richard's helmet.
Yeah.
Not sure that's a job for Bomber.
And we just saw Danny Ford there, the Pool Pirates promoter. But it looks like I don't know what he's doing there. Just trying to see what's happening sort of off camera that you can't see. But There is some sort of concern by his foot by the look of it. They're looking at something there. Although the paramedics have left him now, so he's just sat on the track with Gavin Parr at this moment in time. So it looks like it looks like he's back up.
It looks like he's booting back up.
Yeah.
He's wearing the best kind of boots. Daytonas, they're called. They're the GP boots. He's got a carbon fibre inner to these the outer boot, which is the best sort of protection you can get offered with a boot. He's walking like he's got a stone still in it there from the track, but I'm pretty sure that's something to do with the impact he's just had on it. He's a tough lad, Richard. He's a former motocrosser, so he's tough.
Yeah, he's from Cumbria.
I'm at her.
And yeah, work going on there to Louis Kerr's bike, just to sort one or two things out as well. Let's have a look back at it then. It was quite spectacular. So, yeah, Richard Lawson here in white. We see the incident with Louis Kerr. Louis Kerr.
There's just a bit of a sandwich there, wasn't it?
Yeah, gets in the meat in the sandwich, and Richard Lawson tries to ride it out, Cowboy, and whoa, he's all over the joint, as you see. Whoa, and then he comes down on top of his own bike. That's it.
Crikey.
Oof.
We see as he's walking off there, his right boot's injured. I think that's the coming together with the Louis Kerr and Charles Wright bike that will have would have been crushed within that. But luckily, he does have that solid inner boot in his foot, so he'll have took a bang, he'll have took a wallop, but hopefully there's nothing displaced or broken there. Here we can see the start once again. As Lawson, it's his right ankle that's took the brunt of the force, clashing with bikes and machinery. So Charles Wright is looking to make the cutback. Louis Kerr's trying to go between the pair of them. Lawson's trying to send it around the inside, but yeah, it could have been a lot worse that, but they've all managed to walk away from it, thankfully.
That is a crazy crash, isn't it? Wow.
And for walking away, I'll give him a 9.5.
Yes. And there is Richard Lawson putting himself back together again and planning on taking his place in the rerun.
He's not Humpty Dumpty.
Well, he's not. They didn't have to put him back together again, thankfully. And there's Danny King, patiently waiting his opportunity to head back out on the track again, and hopefully for a cleaner start this time. Just one of those things, though, wasn't it, where riders get themselves in a bit of a tangle, and like you say, they're a bit of a passenger after a certain point.
Yeah, they are, and it's really hard. Once you're travelling with your bike, it's hard to sort of detach yourself from it, really.
Yeah.
You can always let go of the handlebars, for example, but you're still travelling at the same pace as what the bike is. It's only when you can actually dismount yourself from it that you can actually just get away and be left to your own devices. Danny King there, he did make a good start initially. Be looking to do the same thing again. It's always very frustrating when you're the rider that manages to escape all that, and you've got to do it all again, but it also gives you good knowledge of your starting position and what to do again for the next one, so it could work in your favour again. So he'll be looking to make 2 starts from gate 1 in a row.
Yeah, there is Danny King, but I think it's fair refereeing as well by Willie Dishington. It was like beyond the, maybe the chain reaction started in the first part of the bend, but you could have seen a referee exclude someone there potentially, but all 4 back, and it's an important heat.
Look, it was no fault of anyone. Charles, he was trying to race his race, and so were the guys that unfortunately clattered into him. So yeah, there was no real issue there, and Willie Dishington sticking true to his word, as we've seen on Facebook Live before we went live with tonight's proceeding. He said, I'm going to try and put all 4 back where I can. So especially here in a semi-final, he's done just that.
Willie Dishington has seen these replays as well and made his decision based on that.
Well, that is good. It was no fault of anyone's. That was just racers all going for the same bit of the track, and Charles, even though he went a little bit wider, felt the cutting back would have been right, but he didn't sort of disrupt anyone. He didn't try and put anyone out of place. They all just met at the same point of the track, and unfortunately that was what had to happen. Like we say, it was no fault of especially, people would point the finger at Charles if it was anyone there, but it wasn't even his fault. So all 4 riders restart is the right one.
Spectacular off there for Richard Lawson, but now he's got to collect himself together and head back out on the track for a battle for a place in the grand final of the Championship League Riders Championship. That man there will be looking to repeat a good start and get himself off there and on his new home track for this season. Danny King, having of course won pretty much everything apart from this title with the Poole Pirates over his years. Finished second place last year, and he's finished second place 3 times over the course of his career and looking to go one better this time. We are actually seeing the tractors coming out now just to iron 1 or 2 little ruts out, it seems, while we wait for the riders to get themselves ready.
I think that was Wag Corner, wasn't it? All the riders' wives and girlfriends.
Yeah, you can't see that on screen at the minute, I don't think. But maybe we can bring you that. I don't know. There we go. Alex Brady in the mix as well.
Oh,
getting the badge in. So the riders then under 2 minutes now for the restart. There's George English, former head of the BSPA, I think at one point, wasn't he? And of course of Newcastle Diamonds fame as well. Just some words of encouragement for Louis Kerr as he heads out onto the track. Louis, of course, a former Newcastle Diamond in his career. And Charles Wright, very much a red car bear. Actually, his parent club, and they own the contract is a red car asset, even though he does ride for the Bellevue Aces in the Sports Insure Premiership. He's very much a red car asset. Charles Wright, the captain as well of the Red Car Bears, but it's all about individual honours this evening to be the Championship League Riders champion, something that he wants to get on the CV, and here is the lineup. The rerun then after that quite spectacular spill involving all of the riders, bar Danny King, I think, involved in that one. He goes off the inside gate in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Charles Wright. Richard Lawson, despite that spill and a bit of medical attention, he's back out to ride. Off gate number 3 in white, and off gate 4 in yellow is Louis Kerr. 2 red car riders, the Poole Pirates and the Oxford Cheetahs represented. Very representative of how the Cab Direct Championship looks, really, in terms of the league table. Of course, the playoffs just round the corner, and these riders will be facing each other over the coming weeks again, quite likely. And we'll have coverage of those championship playoffs on BSN when they get going, including, of course, the big grand final. But right now it's the semi-final of the Championship League Riders Championship. Away they go then. And into that first turn, it's another good start from Danny King. Danny King going up there around the boards and getting the distance down the back straight. It's all tight here between Louis Kerr and Charles Wright, tussling on that 3rd and 4th bend. The lead remains with Danny King, and it's Louis Kerr and Charles Wright battling for second.
Yeah, Danny King, he looks like he's already secured himself in that final. It's the battle here between Louis Kerr and Charles Wright. They're both going to be pushing it real hard to see themselves into that second place. Can Charlie do anything about Louis' place?
Danny King is in the lead and he's heading for the final. The battle is for second place. Louis Kerr in second. Charles Wright, the red car captain on his home track, battling and gets himself through into second place. Charles Wright into second, into the final lap. It's going to be Danny King for sure. Charles Wright in second. Louis Kerr's got one last throw of the dice here. Down to the line. It's a red car 1-2 in the semi-final.
Exactly what the red car fans would have wanted there. Danny King, he just did all the easy work there, made the start, got himself out in front, and away he went. Grabs the 3 points, sees himself into that final.
Danny King then has a shot at the title. 3 second places in this tournament through his career. He wants to nail it once and for all. He's got a shot at that. Danny King with the win. Charles Wright second. Louis Kerr third. Richard Lawson fourth. Louis Kerr and Richard Lawson's evening is done. Danny King and Charles Wright will face Ben Cook and Chris Harris in the grand final.
Unfortunate there for Louis Kerr. He did the hard work from gate 4 to get himself into that second position, but yeah, it was the efforts from Charles Wright. He worked at it lap after lap and managed to make the pass on Louis Kerr and gets himself through to that final. Here we can see the start once again. It's Danny King who comes out of gate 1. He doesn't make the best of starts, but he just manages to put Charles Wright off a little bit going into that first corner. He goes real wide into the outside, and and sends it down the back straight. Yeah, and he's off into the lead. It's the battle here. This was so close. Great bike control there from Charles Wright. The bike control alone there was enough to see him get that final spot and yeah, get past Louis Kerr and get himself into that grand final. But yeah, real disappointment here for Louis Kerr. He sees the whereabouts of where Charles is, knows the lines to take on this track. It was just kind of righty. He just outfoxed him, was a bit savvy here, just going in a little bit wider, cutting back earlier, creating more speed, making his bike have more straight line speed down them straights, and yeah, manages to pick him off. I think it was here that he would just took the shorter distance. He already knows that he's going past him, and as that, yeah, Louis Kerr just lifts momentarily, kills his speed a little bit, but it's the shorter distance that Charles Wright was able to go, especially with that fresh dirt on the track that the tractors had made and brought back from the outside, that it was able to hold on to that second place. And yeah, elation for the red car fans to see two of their riders into the final.
Yeah, it is going to be a big final now. Chris Harris and Ben Cook await Danny King and Charles Wright. And we'll hear what's going to happen with the gate positions. So it's going to be done in order of points scored for the gate positions and gate selections. So that'll be Ben Cook going first, Chris Harris, Danny King and Charles Wright in that order. So that was exciting, wasn't it, for a semi-final?
It certainly was.
All going on there, but the red car boys coming through.
Even though I'm not riding offside, you've got the sweaty palms. I'm nervous now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm nervous, yeah.
Oh.
This is business end. You look at one side of the pits, empty.
They're gone.
Yeah, if you won't want to be on the away side, which is how these pits are laid out. But you definitely want to be on the home side.
Yeah, and certainly there's going to be something, obviously a lot of red car fans here, and they've got something to cheer for and some people to cheer for in the final.
Well, they're going to have one rider on the podium at least, aren't they? So that's definitely something for them to be shouting about. Pirates fans, they're also got something to be shouting about, as of the Glasgow Tiger fans.
Yeah, and that's right. Lots to cheer from. I saw someone on our Facebook saying there were no Glasgow riders involved, and why wasn't that? Well, Chris Harris is a Glasgow rider, and he's in the final. Yeah. Let's go to the BSM booth then. Hayley Bromley is there to give us the news from the pits.
I am indeed. Thanks, Ian. And we're going to do the gate choices live here in the BSN booth. So I'm not going to dilly-dally. Let's have the rider for first choice of gate positions, that being Ben Cook. Ben, as the top scorer for the meeting, would you give us your choice of gates for the final?
I'll take gate 1.
You'll take gate 1. That means Ben Cook will take the red helmet colour. Next to choose his gates for the grand final is Chris Bomber Harris. Chris, the red helmet colour is gone. What do you fancy? I've not filled it up, no.
2.
Gate 2 for Chris Harris, so he takes the blue helmet colour. Third to choose his gate, Danny King. Danny, your choice?
I'll go 4.
4, there you go. So last but definitely not least, that leaves Charles Wright. Red, blue and white gates are gone, so that leaves
3.
Leaves gate 3. Make a good first bend indeed. So folks, there is your lineup. Ben Cook in gate 1, Chris Harris gate 2, Charles Wright gate 3, and Danny King in gate number 4. Ian, Adam, we're poised for a fantastic grand final here at the Echo Arena for the Championship League Riders Championship. Back to you guys.
Yeah, so there you go. There's the draw all done. And Ben Cook will go off gate number 1 in red. Chris Harris in blue from gate number 2. Charles Wright in white off gate 3. And Danny King in yellow from gate 4. The gate positions chosen there with Hayley in the pits. What do you rank to that draw then, Adam?
Yeah, there's no surprises where each of them went, other than Chris Harris. I thought he might have decided to go off gate 4 and try and get to that dirt on the outside earlier, but yeah, this is going to be this is a massive final, and yeah, the riders, each of these riders wants it, and each of these riders are going to be determined. It's just which one believes and yeah, could drop that clutch first, ride the wheels off their bike, and come away with this win. It's going to be a fantastic final.
Yeah, this is what it all comes down to. Bomber's just realised he's got the wrong helmet colour on there. Yeah, Bomber, you are in blue, so you don't need a helmet colour actually, I guess. Yeah, lots to look forward to here in this final. And of course, it's not the last major event this week in British Speedway. It's a big one because on Friday night we'll be at Oxford for the championship pairs. Many of these riders will be involved in that, and some of them teaming up with each other as well. So that's going to be one to look forward to at Oxford Friday night before the Grand Prix. And if you're on your way down there, then please do come and get to that event. Traditionally, of course, it was at Somerset all those years, but now at Oxford, and then everybody goes on to Cardiff after that. And then next week, next week, on the Monday, Peterborough versus Sheffield. Peterborough have signed Artem Lagusa for the rest of the season. So Peterborough versus Sheffield, Plymouth versus Berwick, and Glasgow versus Oxford. But before that, we're at Peterborough again on Thursday, 31st of August. Peterborough against Wolves. Laguta on the East of England showgrounds. Peterborough, if they do go out, they're going out big. Not a bad lineup that now, is it, Peterborough's team?
No,
with
but
Tarasenko in there as well, and what have you?
I bet they wish you had that to start in March, but yeah, they don't, and they put paid to their playoff chances and title hopes, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, that's what they say. Okay then, here we go. This is what it's all about, the final of the Championship League Riders Championship. Here at the Echo Arena red car, gate number 1 in red, representing the Poole Pirates, Ben Cook. Gate number 2 in blue of the Glasgow Tigers, it's Chris Harris. And then 2 red car stars side by side. Gate 3 in white is Charles Wright, and gate number 4 in yellow, it's Danny King. One of these is going to be your champion of the championship with Cab Direct. It's the final. A few spots in the air. I think we might be timing the end of this meeting perfectly, but nothing to cause any issues at the moment. Charles Wright, of course, on his home circuit, he's going to be hoping for silverware here, but Danny King, he's made no secret of the fact that he wants to win this. 3 silver medals over his career. He's had 6 goes at it, I think, over the course of his career as well, at this level. And on his home circuit, off the outside gate, can he do it in the final?
Lots of important preparations on the start, lots of gardening. Is this going to make your destiny from what's underneath your bike from this starting position? This is a massive final. Each one of these riders could win this race. Which way is it going to go, Ian?
Well, I said from the start, Danny King. I backed him from the start, and there's no point in changing it now. But we will see. We will see. Who are you going for?
I'm going to go for a Pirate. Pirate win, Ben Cook.
All right, it's the final of the Championship League Riders Championship. And the tapes rise. We're underway here. First to the turn is Ben Cook in red. Coming around. Oh, we've got a fall. Danny King is down on the first bend. The red lights are on. And our referee, Willie Dishington, is going to have... It's going to probably hopefully invite all 4 back.
Yeah, I don't really know
what to see what happened there.
No, I know me. I know that Danny King's found himself perched up against the bottom of the air fence. Not always a good position to be. I can definitely smell some clutch burning in the air. So that's interesting. But I'd like to know how Danny has ended up there. There's a great start from Ben Cook though.
Yeah. All 4 riders will be going back, and Danny King on his feet. Stuart Sales there just helping out with things. Let's have a look back at that from a different angle.
Yeah, it's the rider off gate 4 that we'll be concentrating on here. Danny King makes a good reaction at the start, and it's Charles Wright.
Whoa, Charles gets a bit out of shape then.
He does get out of shape, yeah. I could see Charlie going for that one, you know.
No, well, it's all 4 back.
Is it all 4 back?
Yeah.
Wow. Very, very fortunate.
Yeah, well, at least we've got 4 riders in the final. Charles Wright might well think himself a little lucky there then. But, yeah, we're all going to go again, as was, with Danny King making his way back to the pits. His bike went into the air fence at a bit of a rate of knots as well, didn't it?
He's having a little dig around on gate 4 there, just to see if he can make a better start from any sort of position. But yeah, he's glad to be seeing him walk away.
Let's have a look back again. A big round of applause for Danny King as he makes his way there. Oh, Charles Wright just didn't turn left. He got a bit of drive, didn't he, or something?
Yeah, he got some unexpected drive there. Just as he was about to start, anchoring it over, ready for the corner, his bike rears up, lifts, and just takes him maybe 5 or 6 meters past where he would have wanted to be turning, and that really takes out Danny King's front wheel, and yeah, he ends up in the bottom of the fence quite miserably. But glad to see him up and walking away. He's just going to have his helmet checked there by officials.
Yeah, and of course he'll just be hoping his bike hasn't sustained any damage going into the air fence or anything there as well, but he's just getting his pads and padding and whatever underneath the Kevlars all organised, but we'll be heading back out again very, very soon. They're looking at it on BSN.
Yeah, Richie Worrell and Ben Cook. Richie's just showing him the replay of that one. Let's have a walk down to the booth, lads. You'll be able to see it on a bigger screen.
So yeah, Richie Worrell and Ben Cook having a look back at the start there. Danny King just sorting his helmet out and clearing a bit of shale out of it that might have got wedged in there from his little meeting with the fence briefly. The old screwdriver out. Jake Allen observing.
Used to be former Ipswich teammates.
Well, yes, of course, yeah. They certainly were. There's a good link between Ipswich and Redcar, really, with the many of the riders that they have
to be honest,
in their ranks.
There's that many clubs nowadays where everyone's a link with everyone, isn't there?
I know. People say, why don't you have that on a neutral track? What's a neutral track in Speedway these days? The riders ride them all.
Exactly.
There is no. You should have Premiership events at Championship venues, but they ride in the Championship as well. So there's no such thing really as home advantage unless you had one circuit that was only used for the big finals. But Ben Cook there, he made a good start.
He did.
Before everything unfolded behind him.
Let's hope he hasn't used the best route available to him off that inside.
This is what happened last year, though, isn't it? Ryan Douglas made a good start. There was the pile-up on the first bend, and then rerun, he wasn't quite so lucky. That's how it goes sometimes. Here is a look back at the start again. Charles Wright gets himself out of shape there and cleans out Danny King. And that's why the race is stopped. Charles Wright may be fortunate there. It wasn't really necessarily first bend bunching as much as
first bend wipeout.
Yeah, but anyway, we're going to go with all 4, and that's what people want to see. They want to see 4 riders in the final, don't you, when you've come this far?
And Willie stuck to his word.
Willie stuck to his word. We spoke to Willie Dishington beforehand. He said he was going to be fair and give everybody a chance. Then the 2 minutes is on for the rerun of the final here at Redcar, and Chris Harris, tell you what, he's got a lot of support, not just in British Speedway, but around the world as well. He's got a lot of support in Poland, and even though he's not necessarily been riding there particularly, he's up for it. But a lot of fans. There's our John. Go on, John, get across the track. At least he didn't fall over.
That's the first time I've seen John move so fast.
I was going to say, he's pushing the boat out there. He's got to get to the start to get you your shots of the starting gate. So, Danny King getting pushed off, having fell off on the first running of the final, gets to go again. Charles Wright also going to be there off gate number 3. There's a lot of support for Charles Wright among the home faithful here at Redcar, with 2 Redcar riders in it, but I'd say that Charles Wright seems to be shading it with the with the amount of vocal support, certainly in our part of the stadium. Here is your lineup for the final with Cab Direct. Ben Cook off gate 1 in red, representing the Pool Pirates. Chris Harris of the Glasgow Tigers off gate number 2. Charles Wright, captain of the Redcar Bears, on gate 3. And Danny King off gate number 4 in yellow, also of the Redcar Bears. The grand final of the Championship League Riders Championship for 2023. There's going to be one winner. And we're going to find out who that is very soon.
We certainly are. And there's Danny King off of the off of the outside there. Can he make a better start to get across the guys, or can he make a smart first turn? What's he going to be able to do in that first corner?
Well, we're going to find out very soon indeed, as these riders go up for this championship here at Redcar. Everybody's got their favourites, I'm sure, whether you're a Pool Pirates fan, a Glasgow fan, a Redcar fan, or a fan of the various other sides that they represent in the Premiership. Here we go with the grand final of the Championship League Riders Championship. Away they go then into the first turn. It's a good start from Chris Harris. Chris Harris is away here. Coming around the boards though is Charles Wright. Danny King's at the back at the moment. Ben Cook is battling. Charles Wright on the inside of Chris Harris. Charles Wright of the Redcar Bears. Here comes Chris Harris again at the inside. Chris Harris, Charles Wright. Pick a winner, Adam.
Charlie Wright, he's worked his socks off there to get himself into the leading position. He's just he's getting a bit untidy there coming off the outside. It's Chris Harris. He's going to make it on that outside line. He's going to send it high and wide. Charlie's just holding in position. Ben Cook's on the inside. Which way is he going to go into this final lap?
Coming round then into the final lap. The lead is with Charles Wright of the Redcar Bears. Second place is Chris Harris of the Glasgow Tigers. Never gives up, does Chris Harris. He's keeping it wound on. It's going to be a straight fight between Charles Wright and Chris Harris. But Charles Wright, the captain of the Redcar Bears, is the 2023 Championship League Riders Champion.
He's done it the hard way tonight, hasn't
he? Talk about coming to the party at the right time. Charles Wright started his evening off not necessarily the strongest with a third place, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and then the wins at the right time to get himself through the semi-finals and then to claim the title when it mattered. And you can see what that means to him. Charles Wright is the 2023 Championship League Riders Champion.
He certainly is, and he had to work for it very, very hard in that heat. He was all over the racetrack, but he worked it, and he worked his magic, and Charlie Wright is the Championship Riders Champion.
And you can see the home faithful are loving that. With 2 Redcar riders in the final, the Redcar Bears fans have certainly been treated here this evening, but Charles Wright claims it. And you can see what that means to him. We'll hear more from him in a moment. There is the final result, and Charles Wright with the win. Second step on the podium is Chris Harris, Ben Cook third, Danny King fourth, and Charles Wright heads back into the pits to receive the bumps from the Redcar Bears management.
Well deserved. He's been a stalwart here at this club for many a year. So yeah, finally gets some accolades for his efforts, and yeah, what a way to do it. A lot of people say it could have been thrown out from that, but hasn't been, and has turned his night around from his opening ride. Comes away with 3 points. Big heat win, big win in the final.
Yeah, came good exactly when he needed to, and that's what's required as a champion. How many times you see, even in the Grand Prix, you know, Schmarzlik doesn't necessarily make the early heats, but it's about coming to it when it matters, and that's exactly what Charles Wright has done. It was a second place in the semi-final for him as well. Getting himself through to the final, but winning the main event.
You see more than you don't you? And fantastic. Charles Wright, well deserved. He's been the rider that's done the most laps around this racetrack. Here we can see the start again. It was a fantastic start initially from Bomber Harris here. He jet propelled out of that start, goes right around the inside. Charles Wright has one idea, that goes straight to the fence, create as much speed down that back straight as possible, and dives in. I've seen him do that move at least 100 times around here. He does it week in, week out. Bomber, I thought, was going to be able to get back underneath him there, but it's Charlie really winding it on in that dirt on the outside line. Wheels just really basking in the fence, getting as much traction he can out of his machine, and slingshots himself to the lead. Bomber Harris does his utmost here to try and keep pace with him. I thought Charlie just having a little bit of uncertainties with his bike there, exiting the corner, but holds on to it, keeps that throttle wound on. Ben Cook keeps it plugging around the inside. Danny King has no answers to any of them, and you can just sit from the back and really watch the race unfold. Charles Wright, he must have been in yeah, pure ecstasy at this moment because he's holding on to that lead. He's come and switched back to the inside, shot on the distance, even pulls away in that moment, and he heads to cross the line. Fantastic win for Charlie Wright of the Red Car Bears.
Charles Wright then is the 2023 Championship League Riders Champion on his home circuit at the Echo Arena in Redcar. And you can see there as he's coming round, having claimed the title, how much that means to him. And we're going to head over and hear from the winner, the man himself, the 2023 Championship League Riders Champion. Here's Charles Wright with Hayley Bromley in the BSM booth.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief because the trophy presentations will be happening shortly. But Charles Wright, the 2023 Championship League Riders Champion, how do you feel?
Brilliant, especially on your own track as well. And with the weather we had before, we didn't even think we'd get this meeting on. And I battled through, had a slow start, but you know, got in the semis, got through that, had the worst gate in the final, made a cracking first corner, and yeah, just home track knowledge in the end come through.
Did indeed. You had to do it the hard way though all night. You were part of the thick of the action. You had to go into the last chance semi-final, but it's paid dividends for you.
Yeah, I've had plates in and out, you name it. I've hardly watched any racing tonight, and you know, I'm glad it paid off. And no, it's one I've never won before, and it's a great feeling.
Yeah, you've had a hectic few days, and I know that this was one you said you really wanted to win, so now you've managed to tick that off. You were defending the Pairs Championship on Friday this coming week, so still lots of work to do, but for now you can celebrate.
Yeah, I can't celebrate too much. I've got to go and wash bikes. I'm got to be at Bellevue for 12 o'clock tomorrow morning, so I can't party too much. So.
No, well, if my fiance Phil, if you're at home, Charles might need help washing his bikes at some point. If you want to head on round to his house, so I'll see if I can rope him in again. Charles, many congratulations. You are the 2023 Championship League Riders Champion. Get on that podium and lift that trophy. Well done.
Thank you.
Folks, there you have it. Charles Wright is your new Championship League Riders Champion. What a night of racing we have enjoyed here at the Echo Arena in Redcar, when it looked like we might not have got a meeting on because of the rain that we had, but those track covers saving the day, and we have enjoyed an excellent evening of racing. So just before the trophy presentation, a quick look at the fixtures coming up this week. We are off to Peterborough this Thursday, the 31st of August, where they face the Wolverhampton Wolves, and on Friday it's the build-up to Cardiff weekend. We're off to Oxford on Friday the 1st of September for the Championship League Pairs. For now though, over to comms and let's have a look at the podium. Charles Wright's being presented now with his trophy.
Yeah, he will be in just a moment. He's just having a quick interview with Roy Clark there out on the centre green. Just probably saying what you've just heard him say in the BSM booth, I imagine. But Charles Wright there claiming the win. Could we say he was slightly fortunate to be in the rerun there?
The argument's got to be had.
Advocate.
Yeah, the argument's got to be had for that. Many referee would have thrown him out there because his bike lifted. Here we're going to see it again. I don't know if this is going to be the initial stage. Yeah, this is the initial stage, and he's just lifting all the way to the corner. Yeah, he's untidy there. He could have done a lot better to have controlled that, but many referee would have had him thrown out from that one. But hey, it's a look of the draw, and it's a look of the referee, and the referee's decision is final, and he was allowed to be kept in. Yeah, he's out of control there. At that one moment where his head has been thrown back and his leg has gone back, he's out of control. That puts Danny King on his backside in the bottom of the air fence. You see Danny there like, Christ, what do I have to do to get a break here? That's massively unfortunate for Danny, but fair play. Charles, he had to pick himself back up from the mental thoughts of that, thinking, well, I'm in this heat, let's make the most of it, and that's exactly what he did. Get himself the win. He's a happy guy.
Yeah, certainly is, and one for the CV, certainly, to say that you're the Championship League Riders Champion. He's going to do that. I mean, he did have a good performance at the event at Poole last year, didn't he? And certainly, I think one of his rides from that meeting was voted as the ride of the year.
Oh, he was,
in that particular fixture. So he's, obviously he's been there or thereabouts for many a year. But here he is now, about to receive his bottle of bubbly and the title and the trophy, of course, as well.
He too is like the part of the furniture here at Redcar. He's been here for a number of years, worked his way up from the reserve positions to being an out-and-out heat leader in the team. So yeah, full credit to Charlie Wright. He's just a little bit younger than me. We always like say about who's oldest, whose birthday is it and stuff. But he's been around Speedway a long time, and this is well deserved for him.
I think in some respects fairly rare these days for a rider to stick around at one club for so long. You know, even despite, you know, becoming British champion, obviously now riding in the Premiership with Bellevue Aces. You know, he has actually, he's had a space, is sort of a reserve rider, I think, for Roslav, isn't he, in Extraliga, an injury replacement. Probably not going to get involved, but here he is now to get presented with the trophies.
Look, he's a good rider. He's a good rider.
Yeah.
He's not had it all his own way.
But good that he's stuck with Redcar for, you know, over these years. You know, say working his way up, and now here he is standing on the top step on his home track, and about to be crowned the 2023 Championship League Riders Champion. And there he is with the trophy and the bottle of bubbly. The cork will remain on that for a little while, until he's got some people to spray with it, I would imagine. Usually how it goes.
He's a northern lad, that cork will soon be gone.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Shall be popped shortly.
Yeah.
Okay then, here is Chris Harris then. Second tonight. A great battling performance from Bomber. His night got off to not the greatest of starts, but then he changed bike, and that really got him into it, didn't he? And battling all the way there for the title, of course he well does, but Chris Harris second tonight here at Redcar.
Just a side note, is this how they do it up in this part? Do the first then third? I usually thought it was third, second, then first. Get it, build up the anticipation, the cheer.
They have popped their cork early here,
because
right. They've gone straight to the top step.
They couldn't wait, could they?
If you watch it,
rewind.
Yeah, rewind it. It'll be doing the right order.
Right, okay.
Yeah. That's one way of looking at it. So yeah,
decent crowd here tonight to witness this, and some good racing, Ian, don't you think?
Yeah, and having some photos now. We've got the smoke bomb on the centre green as well. So well done to the three there on the podium for the Championship League Riders Championship. Ben Cook of the Pool Pirates third, Chris Harris of the Glasgow Tigers second, and the winner for 2023, Charles Wright of the Redcar Bears, claims the championship, and he moves on now to action, of course, with Bellevue and Redcar, but of course it's the championship pairs on Friday, where Charles Wright will be involved in that as well.
We're looking to defend it?
Yes, they're the defending champions. And here comes the champagne. Here we go. Bomber loves it, doesn't he? He sprayed some champagne before in his life, hasn't he? There he goes.
Yeah. Superb.
Fantastic stuff. So well done to those three riders and to all the riders, and not least the track staff here at Redcar, who got this meeting on in the first place, despite some very heavy rain showers through the course of the afternoon that would definitely have wiped out this meeting and many others as well, I'm sure, at other locations were it to have come down. But track covers saved the day, and we got a good meeting on, some great racing, and Charles Wright came good in the end and claimed the 2023 Championship League Riders Championship title. So there's the view of the sun setting on a great occasion here at the Echo Arena on Teessides, the Transporter Bridge, and the port of Tees in the background, Middlesbrough. And we wrap things up here tonight, and thanks for joining us.
Was that what you call the Riviera?
That is the Teesside Riviera.
Lovely.
Definitely. Yeah.
What a view.
Look, I don't know, very nice this time of year. And thanks for joining us. We will be back with you on BSN. The next fixture will be on Thursday, back in the Sports Inshore Premiership, Peterborough, the next location as they take on Wolves, complete with Artem Laguta. So look out for that. And then we'll be back with you on Friday at Oxford for the championship pairs, to see some more of these riders we've seen in action tonight. But pairing up, teaming up. It's all about the team riding, different scoring system. Every heat's a super heat, effectively. So we'll be with you for that at Oxford the night before Cardiff. A big week ahead, lots of Speedway to enjoy. Thanks for joining us this evening here on BSN. And from Teesside, we wish you a very good night.
See ya!